This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's 7 o'clock straight up. It is The Show on Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee alongside Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins, and Katie June. The four of us round out the show each and every week, coming to you. Yeah, that's the only camera we got. That one up there in the corner. Remember that. That's all we got. I've been going through so many goddamn tech like blog boards and shit trying to figure out stuff. There are apparently all kinds of endless problems with these cameras.
Why haven't you called me yet?
Well, you've been busy doing payroll.
That's true. I mean, because I feel I could solve this.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Setting stuff on fire is going to be about my next choice. But I figure it's a lovely shot.
Burn down the house.
It's a lovely shot of all of us. So I figured that's good. We can.
And I love that I'm the farthest away.
You are the furthest away.
Far, the land of far, far away.
Far away.
And that it's the back of my head.
How do you feel?
How did I just become Shrek? I don't know where I'm at with that. Thanks, Al.
Can you make her look better? Can you pull the shot out of it? How far? Cleveland.
How do you feel about Cleveland?
For those of you who are watching, you will see that there are various pizza boxes on our conference table. Erin, or we call her Ernie, Marnie's girlfriend, brought in Federal Pizza, which is a local pizza joint here, just really close to the studio, and supplied us all with dinner. And then there's snacks over there for dessert for later.
So amazing. And I have peanut butter pretzels.
Nice.
I told that dry mouth going.
I told Al that with as much as going, this is going to become a fat farm studio. That's what we're going to do.
Nothing wrong. And iced tea as well. I can't. The best girlfriend ever.
She really is. Thank you for being all of our
so
girlfriends.
This coffee has been hanging on with just new ice going into it for hours.
Yeah.
So that tea,
you're looking forward to that?
Super excited about
That's
that.
touching. I wish I had someone. That's very touching.
I have vodka.
I was going to say, you can have some tea.
If you need to add vodka to it, I have a glass.
That's okay.
Tea is not what I'm missing
tonight. Yeah.
Tea for two.
I actually finished all the wine from all the wine trips, so I am now in need of another wine trip.
We have
the wine from
I'll
all
ask
the
Erin
wine.
if she's okay with me giving you the bottle next week, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Perhaps.
Totally different than
and
giving
if
you the finger.
Hate it, just throw it away.
Yes,
very different. Very.
If I get desperate enough, I will suck your finger because I know there's probably alcohol coming out of that.
Coming out at some point. Get past the blood. Yep, there's alcohol.
There it is.
Tomo is in the chat room along with my mom, Mama Di. Richard is in Quebec, Canada, saying hello. Hi, Richard.
Guys.
This is the 19th of August. Can you believe it's already the latter half of August? That's insane. It is show number 178 in the series. Thank you for being here with everybody.
Ark, here in the Ark.
Yeah, in the Ark. Somebody from the United Arab Emirates is listening, and they've been listening for over 3 hours.
They've listened. They've been on with us before.
They just
should go in the chat room.
They should. Well, no,
Dubai.
the interesting thing is that there are 10 people in the chat room, and we don't know who all of them are because some of them just choose to go in and they watch. They're just there for the comments.
Yeah.
But they don't let us know who they are. Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate that very much.
Meow Cal is there.
Hey.
Hello.
Meow.
Welcome in. Whatever.
I like that you keep trying that. You're
It doesn't.
You'll get it maybe someday.
Someday I'll learn a language. I know. Harrison! God, they're just popping in. And then Marnie. And look, Marnie's girl is in the chat room.
Oh,
Marnie's girl. We love the pizza.
She's
Thank
happy
you.
to keep us all fed, she says.
Ernie, that was a delicious choice. And you have to tell us what the pizza is with the green stuff on top.
Yeah, the broccoli, there's broccolini on it.
And it's spicy and it's just filled with goodness.
Ricotta.
It's like
it's
it's
good.
written at the end, but I can't read
No,
it.
it's not. It probably is not on that one. She took one box with her because she assembled her own pizza out of all 4 boxes.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if the name of the one you're looking for is on the box she took.
Yeah, those aren't words.
I didn't think so. I'm like,
I recognize cheese when I see it, but I don't know what the second one says.
And
But Federal
pepperoni,
Pizza,
yeah.
602-795-2520.
Oh, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
To hashtag this. Oh, speaking of hashtags, and I haven't put this in an official memo to you all yet,
very
but
excited.
Al and I conferred with this because it was my thought. I bounced it off him, and we've settled on.
I voted for everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my kind of democracy.
Yep, I like it. Let's do it.
Okay.
So our official hashtag, because we joke about hashtags all the time.
Yeah.
Our official
hash
hashtag is hashtag CUN Tuesday. Cunt Tuesday.
I like
That's our
it.
official hashtag. So
Oh.
from now on, and for those of you listening, if you want to post something in reference to the show, you
Cunt
can use that
Tuesday.
hashtag.
I'll
Also,
put it in the chat room. How
also,
helpful.
if you go to if you actually happen to go to, because remember when I started the show, I bought everybody's.com,
Yeah.
like MarnieRyer.com, KatieJune.com.
I gotta
so on.
Google mine. I
Right.
gotta go.
Well, because it just
I gotta
it goes to your Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
I have it directed. So anyway,
exciting.
I also own BarbaraSeville.com. I bought that for her. So I'm redirecting it for the AIDS walk for this year because we're
smart,
coming
yeah.
up. Anyway, I see you in Tuesday.com goes to our. So if you just go to
love it.
www.cuttuesday.com, you're there.
I love it.
And that's only with one T.
I would have voted for that.
Thank you.
Sure,
Yeah.
I figured you were on board.
I was sensing a mood. I was feeling the rhythms.
Yes.
So this
Feel the rhythm
was
of
you
the
better
rain.
eat
Oh my
a
God, that is
piece
so
of this
cool.
bitch because she substituted cheese for you.
Thank you, Richard.
So you better climb out off that crust and shove that in your mouth.
Wow. I have a story later in headlines kind of
That's
related.
what he
Bitch, what are you
said.
talking
That's what he said.
I told Marnie to identify
Get off the cross
not
and
Marnie, you're
suck
Marnie.
my dick.
I
What?
told the other Marnie.
What
to,
was that?
I told Marnie number 2,
Or
as we
Ernie,
like to call her.
apparently. Yeah.
Ernie, she goes by sometimes.
Sometimes.
I asked her to name this pizza, and she said that it's called the At Last, but I subbed regatta for goat cheese because Marnie doesn't do goat. So you better eat that fucking thing because she's...
If you
You're
don't,
very, very
Subbing stuff
sweet.
out for
if
you.
you choose not to eat it, there are 3 other people in this room that will.
Apparently,
Well,
yes.
she picked and choosed over it, and you stared at it, so it's back to her. I was the only one that put the whole thing in my
I
mouth.
didn't stare at it. It's right there. I just haven't had time to eat it yet.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
It is.
It's.
yummy.
I have my 3 slices are over
It
there.
looks delicious. Thank you, honey.
You should have heard the sound she made when she thought she was going to put goat milk in her mouth.
I was like, oh my God, no.
I don't know that I would know the difference.
Oh, yeah, you would.
I would.
No.
Okay.
And I assure you, you would. Like, it's really distinctive.
Okay.
It's
And
just
I-
Oh
very
yeah, goat
distinctive.
cheese. Kelly hates it too. She doesn't
you.
eat goat.
But
at
I
all.
think I do because it's on a salad that I eat it from one of the
Oh yeah,
early
it's
restaurants.
delicious.
Oh, it is
Yeah, that's what I thought.
absolutely delicious.
Okay,
could-
then I'm good.
And you know
Yeah.
how many food phobias I have. But you know what?
None.
No, me? Oh, yeah, there's all kinds
You
of
eat
shit.
everything.
I absolutely do not eat everything.
What's your most hated food?
Olives. Can't go near them.
Black or green?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's just an olive.
And then
I'm
twice
ready to
Guys,
know
he's
that.
okay with
Twice
black
now
olives.
in the last couple of years, including recently in olive country, in wine country, somebody tried to pass that tamponade, or that's
Yeah.
Oh, tapenade, which I
tapenade.
love. It's so
oh,
yummy.
it's just fucking olives.
yeah,
and it went in my mouth
disgusting.
the second
olives and
time.
olive oil, and it's good.
I love
Done.
olive oil. Olive oil is delicious, but the actual olives, and it was on a hummus platter, so
Right.
I'm trying to try everything to
Sure,
get over some
yeah.
of my
I don't know,
food phobias, but
I
I just
didn't-
get back
It
to
looks like the front yard.
No, it's yummy.
No,
and
no, it
peaches,
looks like
most
it, I'm
fruits,
saying,
most
is all.
vegetables.
I didn't. I guess I didn't. If
Most
I knew this, I didn't know why.
peaches?
Oh, yeah, peaches just I can't even smell them.
Now my brother doesn't like to bite into a peach because the fuzzy on his teeth, he can't hang.
I might actually die. And that's just because peaches smell like hot vomit to me.
Golly. I didn't.
When I smell peaches, I just smell
hot
Hot
vomit.
vomit.
like vomit in a hot room.
That's so disgusting.
There's the
because
name of
I
this
love
show.
peaches.
Everybody does. And
I
people-
actually cook
vomit.
peaches and make them hot in like brown sugar, and then I whip my own whipping cream and I eat it.
Oh, I just smell
When
it.
you're
and I
not on
gotta-
a juice cleanse.
Yeah, I gotta take the bus out of a room.
I didn't
So all the
know.
time when I drink wine and they're doing the taste, like you should taste peaches. I'm like, oh sweet
No.
Jesus, I hope not.
Can you mask that peaches
Nah.
with a lot of alcohol? Then I'll be fine. Marnie,
Yeah.
She's spreading her cheese.
what are you? It looks like you're doing crafts in the camera shot.
You know what? That's really a smart move. Instead of getting one big lump of ricotta. Oh, and then-
Ricotta.
It's like you're spreading paste from from second grade across everything, and eating it just like you did in
Yeah.
second
Yeah,
grade.
it's
Totally.
good.
But the one food I am not afraid of in almost any form is cheese. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it's
with you. Goat feta, like everything sounds wrong, but I'm still
Well,
putting it
and
in
the
my
thing
mouth.
is, like, you can have feta cheese, but it's from goat. It's goat feta.
Oh.
There's dairy feta and goat feta, and
Yeah.
I distinctly like the minute it got done. I'm like, no, I
Kelly, yeah,
can't.
Kelly is the same. But
Can't.
I can't do, so I like most everything. Really like most everything except asparagus.
Oh, I love.
Horrible.
Yeah.
and I'm like you, like run the other room. Like Kelly's not allowed to make it if I'm home or coming home
Or
within
go
a
to the
2 hour
bathroom after she's had it.
Yeah.
wind, like a 2 hour like time frame. You can't
you-
make it if
have
I'm
you
going to be
ordered-
home within 2
That's
hours.
how I was with Tim when we lived together. He knew he had to pick a night that I was working to cook broccoli
Certain
or
things.
cauliflower. Like I like them both raw, but I think if you cook
Oh yeah.
cauliflower in the house, we
It
have to
smells
move.
weird.
Like time to sell the house. And cook cabbage,
Oh, I love cabbage.
Have you also brainwashed Palmer into this that we just don't like asparagus?
I'm actually it's funny that you asked that. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
She likes most everything, and cooked spinach is the other thing I can't do. Raw,
Love it.
yes,
Yeah, me
but
too.
cooked, no.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Wow.
I think that the one thing I'm really scarring Palmer with is bugs, actually, because I don't like bugs. And so
I'm not a
just
big
today
fan
we
either.
were in a public restroom and there is a drain, and she goes, "What's that?" And I was going to say, "Oh, that's where the bugs come out of." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, Katie, don't." Like,
Yeah,
pull
just
it in,
traumatize her.
pull it
Don't
in.
start this fear.
So I'm like, so I make yesterday also, which I thought was kind of funny. It made me laugh. Mother of the Year. I was grilling out on the back in the back porch, and Palmer comes running outside and she's playing. And this bee, like a thing I've never seen. It was like a weird mutation of a bee.
Was it a cicada?
No, it was like the size of your pointer finger, and it was striped, and it had wings, and it wasn't a dragonfly, and it definitely looked
I'd be
poisonous.
hospitalized.
It was horrifying.
It may have been a drone.
That's another
Oh my
one of those
God.
things that we are moving. Like we're out.
Well, I am
Sell
like
everything.
throwing pork on. I like drop everything and run inside and shut the door.
And left your kid out
Palmer
there?
is standing out there, and then she sees it and she's going. She
let
literally
me
starts
in.
crying. Well, because she's trapped between it's her and then here's the bee and the door, and she's going, "Mommy, please help! Mommy, please help!" And I'm standing there looking at her, going, "I don't know what to do for you.
Save yourself, kid.
I don't know what to do.
Survival of the
can't
fittest.
come out."
Thank God for that swim class. Get in the water.
So awful, you guys. I was like laughing,
funny.
and she came inside crying, and we had to turn it around into a laughter moment because I'm like, this is what I just did is a horrible thing.
That's gonna be they're gonna call that a therapy moment.
Mommy, please help.
You are saving
So-
for that already.
It's
aren't you?
so
Palmer,
horrible.
tell us about one of the more traumatic experiences of your
did that make
childhood.
you
And Mom
feel?
locked me outside with the bee the size
Right.
of our house.
Mom
Her
doesn't
head.
love me. Mom takes her fears over her love for me anytime.
I would something like that because I'd have been hospitalized. I do not handle any of that anymore.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
at all. I hear that cicada or those fucking things fly in your house.
And when they fly, the ones that fly belly first at you, those big
Oh, like June
beetles.
buggy
Oh,
I'm
kind
right
of weird
here.
thing. Oh my God, that looks like a T-Rex.
so great on
You
the
look like a T-Rex.
And all I ever they do.
Can't do push-ups
They're
either.
about the same size.
Not the same
They are.
of a pterodactyl.
They
In
look
my
like-
mind, they
They
are.
are. And cicadas come in and apparently
Pull
get
out a
real-
T-Rex and let's compare.
It's kind of like me at the gym. They get real fucking. They're like, yeah. Oh God, I'm real tired. That fast because they fly in and they're 100 miles an hour and then they just stop.
It's the shedding of the skin that really grosses me out. When I see the skins like on the
that means
outside of my
they're
house,
dead.
or
I'm fine with that.
Ooh, I just hate seeing their
them.
skin.
It's-
Bugs. So no, I don't think I'm traumatizing my daughter with food, but certainly I am with insects.
Got
So
it.
that's good. She came running into the room the other day crying. There's a bug. There's a bug. She was crying, and it was like a tiny little something, like a fly maybe died and fell in the corner.
Yeah.
And she was horrified. It was like life ending.
You know, one of my favorite things to do is sometimes
Good at
because here in
preparing.
Arizona, I have the doors open all the time. You know, in the wintertime. And oftentimes, because flies are the most smart things in the world, right? So all these big windows in my back of my house, they're trying to get out through them, and they
Yeah.
just repeatedly just hit it over and over.
Right.
And they get tired, and they'll just hang on it for a while, and then they repeatedly try to get out again.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite thing is to take a vacuum, and I just wait with the crevice tool and suck them right up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just think that's fun. I mean, it adds to my vacuum fetish that I already have anyway.
Right. Good,
but
good.
but
Yeah.
it's fun. I think that it's useful.
And it is.
Well, that's why I replaced like every window and door in my house was to get the screen so I could
Right.
open everything and not
Deal with that.
not have a bug come like that. My house is bug.
No, I
they
have-
they have to walk in when I have the door open. Like they have to find their moment.
oh,
Or come in through the air conditioning.
I have screens everywhere else, but it's just when I open the doors in the shop in the summer or in the wintertime, that's where they come in.
it's you know what I just can't. My it's time to burn the house down and move is if there's a cockroach.
Yeah.
And there
You
said-
are.
yeah,
There
you
just
said
like
that before.
inevitably are
And
in the
now
summer.
it's that time of year where like
And-
that upside down one is just.
Well, do you,
I close all of my drains at night. Well, when I'm not using them. They're
Yeah.
all closed. It's
do you also unplug all your appliances at night?
oh my God, no, but I'm gonna start undoing
No,
my
do
Wi-Fi.
not. Do not.
Oh.
I said that for Marnie because she unplugs everything.
I want to start
Oh,
unplugging my Wi-Fi.
Please, we had
It's
it's a situation if we get into that
it's all
conversation.
about Gene. It's all-
We've done 3 hours on the plugging and unplugging.
Oh, we really have.
Would you be
It's
a dear and
awesome.
hand me a paper towel from behind
I
you,
will.
please? Because this pizza, though very, very good, has got a little grease on it, and I don't want to touch everything with my little fingers. Stimulating talk radio, ladies and
That's
gentlemen, for us. Yes. Oh, there was something else I was going to mention, and I just lost. Oh, the roach thing. You know, when we moved the from Studio B to Studio C, which is here, shortly after we arrived here, what?
I feel like this is gonna make me cry.
No, it's not
That's
going to
what
cry.
happens.
Shortly after we moved here, and I don't know who it was. For some reason, I think it was you. Opened a bottle of champagne in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Well, it went between the stove and the
no.
cabinet, and like half of the champagne went down there and just made a
God.
pool.
See, I don't think we can take the blame for this because
I
I,
was gonna
usually
say,
I usually open all the
Yeah.
bottles
But
of
this
champagne.
is right when
I
we
don't
got
usually.
here.
I'm pretty good about not popping.
And I don't do.
And not just that, but if she spilled it,
There was
she
a
would
spill.
lick it up.
Anyway, there was a spill. I don't know
I
if it
mean
was an
that with
opening
love.
of a bottle, but there was a spill.
Sure.
Anyway, so champagne went down between the two, and then I never thought we cleaned up the counter. Everything's good. I don't
Oh,
even think
God.
anything else about it. And then all of a sudden, I keep seeing these little. They were roaches, whatever, and I couldn't figure out where the fuck. Everything's clean. What are we doing? Well, JD, who does our exterminating, yours and mine, he says, well, let's pull out the range. And of course, what was there was the dried pool of champagne, which is all sugar. That's all they're looking for.
And they're looking for like food,
Right.
droppings, also any liquid,
Right.
water.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
so
I hate
they're-
to break this to you from my years in the restaurant, but they don't eat as much food as they do the glue that holds like cardboard boxes
Oh,
together.
yeah, they love cardboard boxes.
So they love the glue. They don't eat food per se. They eat weird things to make their nests. So the glue from cardboard boxes, that's why restaurants get them. It's not for the
Point-
food like you'd think. But
Point to my story being that was what was attracting them. Soon as we eliminated that, they were gone. Because there's nothing else. I have nothing else. 'Cause
Yeah.
until Michael moved in, I don't fucking cook.
Right.
Everything. That oven has done nothing but sit there and just stuff sits on it. And
Yeah,
that's
right,
all.
right.
So anyway,
Storage.
so it's all about that. They look for a food source, and that's what they were looking for. They found that sugar, and they were going nuts.
Oh, they're
and
so horrible.
And thank God for JD and Red Shield. 'Cause
Yes.
he keeps me kind of sane every couple months.
Oh yeah, we have the Terminex contract. They're out every time I see something. I go,
Yeah.
well, Palmer has these little toy lizards, and then I swear I'm done with bugs. But she likes, she loves little toys, whatever. And so she has these little. They're tiny, and these little lizards. So anyway, I'm like a dart, right? My eyes are like darting to every corner constantly in my house and everywhere I go looking for bugs. It's horrible. It's like a weird thing. So I do this in her playroom, especially because it's always, there's just shit everywhere. There's toys out and whatever. So I'm looking around and I see one of the little lizards on the floor and I take another step and its tail moves and I'm like, son of a bitch, that's not a toy lizard. And I have to get down in the toys. And thank God I'm not scared of the lizards. And I scoop it up and we take it outside. But it was just like a quick moment of panic when I thought that it was
was
a
a
tiny
gecko?
toy on the floor and it was real. Yeah,
He
and I
wanted
was
to
like,
sell you car insurance.
I guess so.
Yeah, I-
for 15% or less.
I have the geckos as pets, and now I come in
Oh,
the
yeah.
back door. But in the morning, in the front door, I was
at
getting
the front
them.
door. They're like crazy.
Yeah, they're like wait at the front door to get in, and then there's a baby one here and there, and I just like get them to run up onto a magazine and go right in the toilet
Yeah.
and,
And I
swim
connect-
away, dear friend.
Oh, and I pick them up and I'll put them back out. Like they don't scare me. I do try to not chop the tails or sometimes heads off with my hands. It's a whole
yeah,
thing.
I'm
but
not. I'm not afraid of those either.
Okay, gotta make
They
an
don't bug
itch.
me.
Thank goodness.
Wait, and that's one of those things
bugs.
you can't fight. It's the
Bugs
it's
in the desert. Yeah, exactly.
And all I ever hear is that Florida's bugs are worse. So I'm like, I'm good then.
We're not going
They
to Florida.
are. They just so are.
Because
They really, really
as
are.
terrifying as our bug population is, just to hear that Florida's worse, I'm like, oh fuck no.
In every way, really.
Yeah.
Our
Florida's worse.
bug topic, we've pretty much beaten that one to death, no pun intended. Catch up, Katie.
you,
Yeah.
This
Marnie
week.
number 3.
This week.
I have a big bite of food in my mouth. Wait a minute.
I don't think anything really exciting. Kelly's in Sedona with her family, which is very nice. She's spending time with her mom and brother.
And her mom's doing okay?
Yeah, I mean, she's hanging in there.
Good.
Right? So,
You're asking us, sure, I guess.
yeah.
Right? She sounds good.
We're trying to move furniture. Oh my God, I thought Kelly had a stroke on Saturday. That was a thing.
Yeah,
Another
I can believe
situation.
that.
It was really horrible.
That's all about Kelly.
We're moving furniture. I know, right? We're moving
I'd fake
furniture.
a stroke to get out of moving furniture. I'm
And
not
she
gonna lie
goes,
to you.
well, I didn't. My sister came over because Kelly can't move because of her back, and so anyway,
Convenience injury.
Yeah.
every time it seems.
Yes.
So she
flare
she
up.
bent over to wipe something, get a scuff out of the floor or something. I don't know. And it was
Oh,
like
pick
a
up a
very
lizard.
panicky moment. And she went to go set like a cup like this on the counter, and it was like as she was kind of just bending forward to set it down, she like froze and started shaking. It was horrible, you guys. And like taking steps backwards into a falling motion, dropped the cup. The cup is plastic but shatters. Like there's water everywhere. Palmer starts screaming and crying because Kelly's falling on the floor. I, who thought that I could handle a stressful situation, learned that in fact I cannot. When I start screaming, call 911! I mean, I'm like hysterical.
Oh,
Morgan
no.
starts crying. It was like Kelly's laying on the floor. Her pupils are fully dilated. So we called 911. Paramedics came,
Holy
and they
shit.
couldn't seem. They were like, her blood pressure was elevated, which they attributed to likely my behavior at the time of the incident. But her pulse was low. But then they had her stand up and take it, and it seemed about the same because they were trying to determine if she had been dehydrated or whatever else. She had eaten a little bit already, so they just didn't. It was just a really scary moment. Her pupils were really, really dilated, and then she went into the bedroom and had to go to bed for a few hours. Scary. So
she
I
went to
kept
the
checking on
doctor
her.
yesterday?
No, so then she went to Sedona the very
Oh,
next
that's a
day.
good idea. Go to higher altitudes.
But she's going to. We have a doctor friend that she's been talking with. Not that the doctor friend can diagnose her over text message, but
The doctor's a
Why not
vet,
try?
however.
Yeah.
He's a vet, so
and she's
doctor
actually
friend.
Really
it's
just a
vet school.
PhD.
Really, it's vet school
In
is what it
English
is.
literature.
Yeah,
Right. But he's a doctor.
DR. So she's going, but it was a really. She is going. She has an appointment to go this week, but it was a really.
I'm glad there's no hurry in it.
No.
That's what I kind of said. I was like, I feel like maybe you could have just had like a TIA, or it was real. Because I said to her when she kind of bent over, I said, "Oh my God, what's happening?" She said, "I don't know what's going on." Like it was a really kind of scary moment. So stay tuned
Yeah.
on that. But
seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to go into your entire medical history of your family. I'm sorry to hear that.
I know it's pretty crazy. Anyway, what's happening with you, Marnie?
Marnie number one.
Fun.
Now, Marnie, I don't know if
news.
you saw something in the chat room said they liked your shirt.
No, I didn't.
Who? Hang on, let me see.
I just
Who in the
looked
chat
this
room
up.
said that? Stand by.
We have to read aloud to the chat room to
Yeah,
Marnie.
Yay,
she's-
gay.
Where the
Richard.
Richard said,
Was it
yeah.
Richard?
It's a good. It's an HRC shirt. Here.
Yeah.
Because Richard's getting ready to start his third year of
Support
college.
your local
so.
HRC.
I just absolutely.
Yeah,
I just saw
absolutely.
that part. And good luck to you with that, Richard. Also, Tomo, fuck off. And I'm just kidding.
That's in
Tomo.
reference to the goat milk
And
cheese, I guess.
picky eaters, but I'm okay with that. Thank God they make the non-goat milk stuff. But Jason got me this last year. We both wore 2 years ago. We both wore them to Pride.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's fun.
Yay,
And it's a great
gay.
shirt, great colors.
Yeah, I
love
like
it.
the
I
And I
love
like how you've
I'm
gonna
matched
matches
the
your
hat
hat.
with the, yes, notice the
I noticed
coordination.
as well.
And shoes.
Okay.
it. Did you just meet her?
No.
Okay.
And the
That's
tank
why
top?
it takes her That's why it takes her 9 suitcases to go out of town because
That's a good point.
How
she
are you-
garanimals the whole trip.
Exactly.
It's a really good point.
Adult
I'm
Garanimals.
so pissed that there is an adult Garanimals, but I do my best. I work it out.
it's almost like you're a gay man trapped in a lesbian's body.
Oh, I've said that for years.
Because you color coordinate more than I ever will.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm a
totally.
lesbian. Well, that can't do anything useful. Caught in a gay man's body that also doesn't do anything useful.
But could.
Oh, if there was only remote control and a couch involved, you'd be
Exactly.
fine.
Then I can accomplish everything. We can do a remote control for my couch.
That can be a lesbian as well, so that's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good. I honestly, I don't even remember this week.
No, it's been that kind of a week. A
It has
blur.
been. Yeah, just kind of.
So stroke, Alzheimer's, we're working up all kinds of neurological
And speaking
issues.
like that,
So
the whole
healthy.
Alzheimer's thing, I've been doing lots of documentaries on HBO.
I love them.
And
Well, welcome to HBO.
Well,
It's
just
not TV. It's HBO.
It's HBO. But I've been watching a lot of different things, and one of them, there's a 2-part thing that is on there right now about Alzheimer's, and I sobbed myself silly.
Oh, and
Why? Because you have everything.
I can't remember
No.
who is the. Isn't that about someone's parent in honor?
There were like right. There was something. They put a thing at the beginning of it, but I was already snot bubbling because of something that happened. But because they have like one of them says, "Grandpa, how come you don't like the title is Grandpa? How come you don't remember my name?"
Yeah.
Oh,
And I saw
God.
that, and that caught my eye because my grandfather had
Right.
gone through that before he passed, and Alzheimer's. And then, well, not remembering
what
my
we're talking
name,
about,
no, but
yeah.
not
Yeah,
remembering
right.
my name. And then just the second one was about caregivers for Alzheimer's, and there was
that's a blubbery mess too.
Jesus, I sobbed. There was a lesbian couple that was included in it, had been together 24 years, and Forget it. I was done.
Yeah.
So I do remember that part.
I think we had a discussion over one of the earlier shows. It seemed like we had a discussion in regards to Alzheimer's, and I don't forget who. I don't know if Buddy was here or not. But when we talked about, because I can't remember that either. No, but we talked about it because I had a grandmother that went through it, and I lived for a while. I was much younger, but I went to live with them to kind of take care of her and other things. Because I just adored her. And she had this thing they had a huge house, and she had this thing of repeatedly feeding this cat that she kept locked in a room. And like they would buy, the only thing she would feed it was like turkey breast lunch meat and condensed milk. And she would do it and get in bed and get right back up and do it again. Like it was a repeat, like she just got in that cycle.
Oh. Yeah.
And I remember one time
That litter box must have stunk.
talking about...
or it was very clean.
Talking about... and then she would not let the cat... Like the cat wouldn't eat because the cat was full. The cat didn't eat it all.
Yeah.
And then she would just
Quite
replace it continually. That was one of the cycles she was in. But when you made the common reference to caregivers, it was a real shock the day she was frustrated about something, and I was looking in the refrigerator and she wanted something, and she got frustrated and she hit me. And I'm not talking just a smack. Like she punched me, and I was just stunned. And I remember looking at her and seeing. In her face, I could see in her she didn't know what to do because she didn't know why she did it or
who you
when
were.
I realized
when
I certainly got over it, but it's like when I looked into her eyes and saw that pain of hers because she didn't know
fear and shock.
Horrible. It was just terrible.
And the idea of that blank that comes with it at other times where.
And the worse than the blank is the complete fear if they don't know who you are or where they are, like just the absolute fear in their face.
But is that the look in your eyes or theirs at that point?
No, it's theirs. And you see it in their face and eyes because they don't know where they are.
Sure.
And they don't know who you are.
And why are you here?
Why are you here? Like this is not my house.
And then they don't know where they need to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a complete.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a mean-spirited disease.
I'm just curious because
and there are all kinds of different. It's like it's a cancer.
Yeah.
With all these different types of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so I'm curious only because I don't know anything about it, but I always thought that it just kind of made your mind go. But I also know people who have died really quickly from it. And how does that?
It can go either way. Either it can spread like wildfire. Or it just is a slow, progressive, just evil disease.
And is it just shut your brain down? Is that what it does? Or you forget your body forgets how to breathe?
She'll know more from watching the documentary, but there's like changes in the brain and sometimes they'll see like atrophy of
she
different
physically
parts.
deteriorated. My grandmother physically deteriorated
and
as well.
It's a combination of everything, but it's just an insidious, it's a horrible disease.
And the thing was that this didn't
that they're
necessarily
just learning
describe a lot about Alzheimer's.
Because they don't know very. They don't know.
It was about the stories that go with caregivers, and I haven't watched the grandfather one because I honestly couldn't get there yet. I was like, nah, holy
shit. They know more about
sharks
than we know about Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
They spend more on Shark Week than
more
if
time.
we ever have Alzheimer's Week, though nobody will remember when it's on. But if we ever get Alzheimer's Week.
Right. Well,
but that's the thing about a celebrity, and I want to say that this was put on because of someone's grandfather. That the
that
person
does sound right.
If it wasn't this documentary, there's another one that's out about someone's grandfather, and it is because you need a celebrity. Like as soon as you
totally do.
Like Parkinson's gets money because Michael J. Fox is. If you put a face to the disease, and people all of a sudden want to donate.
Robin Williams is I mean, for what he's done for suicide prevention right now, like the money and the hotlines are just
and depression being
right?
real, and you always need a celebrity.
And the ALS the ice challenge.
And the ALS guy died.
Yes,
What?
just last week.
The guy that's initiated the challenge.
Did he really?
He drowned.
He drowned celebrating in a friend's pool.
No.
So horrible.
So that's why I'm like, because I just saw him on something and he didn't look like he was having trouble.
Well, the shot was when the shot just from here up, when the face shot. That's the only one I saw of the guy.
It was an interview with him.
Oh.
But I got a text message like a day or two ago.
I saw that.
That's ironic.
Yes. All right. So Marnie's done. You're good. We're caught up with you, Alfred.
Well, working way too much again this week, days and nights, so my body doesn't know when the shitter goes sailing half the time. But
okay,
I'm just a fucking train wreck from these shifts that I'm working. But today it was my annual visit to the neurologist, so we'll just keep it on with neuro disorders. And in a strange bit of coincidence, Last year when I went was the great water catastrophe and almost into the wash, but recognized what was coming towards
The monsoon
me
of 2013.
So today it's raining like that again, and I'm made my way, and I was kind of thinking like, oh, this is the exact same weather, the same kind of shit. Get out there, but luckily the parking, it wasn't raining over the building like it was last year, so the parking lot of my doctor's office wasn't flooded. It was raining really hard, but last year the initial problem was that the parking lot was flooded, and I couldn't get out to the light because I would have had to cross another
wash. Yeah,
because everything up there in Deer Valley, as we discussed last year, is all arroyos and like they just paved.
And we're seeing again.
Yeah, the
today it's
problem
all
with
north.
It's all
North
north
Valley
because they didn't grid it out. Those aren't real streets. Those are just
paved washes.
Yeah. So craziness. So it's starting. I get in, I get out. Everyone's commenting like, "Weren't you the guy last year that showed up here?" And I was, because the parking lot was soaked that they didn't believe I actually drove. Because when they got into their office at 8 a.m., it had just been mildly raining, and they don't have windows that they can see down, so they didn't realize their parking lot was underwater. And I had the first. If you remember from last year, I had the first spot. And just walking from the first spot to the medical office building, plus it was flooded.
Yeah.
So I was walking through a foot of water and soaking wet. So when I got up there, they were like, "Did you walk here?" I'm like, "No, I drove." They're like, "No, come on. You're like
soaked.
I look like a used tampon."
Oh my!
Well, I was all cotton and I was completely absorbed. You know what I mean? My T-shirt was like down around my ankles.
Wow.
So it wasn't a heavy flow day.
Yeah.
But,
well,
yeah. Tampon. How about tampon in the
tampon
bathtub?
humor.
Okay, something.
Something.
I'm like, I think it looked.
It's a very absorbing
I'll take
story.
tampon in a bathtub. I'll take tampon in a bathtub.
So this year, the lady she always remembers me because there's certain issues with referrals and stuff like that. So she's always kind of like, "Oh Jesus, it's this one again." So it's a 5-minute appointment for all this driving and harassment. It seriously is just a checkup, get my prescription refilled for the year, wave at the guy, and go.
Yeah.
So this time I'm driving home and I'm like, okay, the parking lot's not flooded. I can make the appropriate left turn. I don't have to go back make the right turn and try to find your way around the 101 27th Avenue interchange.
Which is
where you have to go
stupid,
under through another flooded road. So I made my left. I'm like, all right, this is not bad. And then I get on the 17 coming south and the rain really picked up again because the rain was really at your mom's house, like around Cactus, which last year was flooded, and they had backed up traffic because people were trying to go down the off ramp,
right, and you
but
can't.
Cactus was a river, so they were trying to get people to back up on the freeway, which is just delightful. It's just a great idea when you're on the freeway to have some people going backwards in the right
As you're trying
lane.
to, yes.
Not just slower, but literally backwards.
Most smartest.
So if you listen to that show from last year, I go into some detail about everything that went wrong. So I'm like, okay, it's really raining. We're all going about 35, 40 because the visibility's nothing.
Right.
And it's raining so hard and everything's coming. And I'm remaining calm. And I get, because my fucking phone is Bluetooth to my stereo system, which is on extra sing-along loud.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like white knuckling, just about to slam on my brakes. I thought, is that my car? Is it a warning from another car? Like the world is ending
right now.
But my radio's not on. It's just my sound system is on to Bluetooth through my phone because I've never listened to a radio. So I'm like, I know it's not an emergency broadcast alert. Because I don't even know
what it is. These damn alerts.
Oh my God.
You can shut them off.
And then I looked, I've never had that happen before.
I have all mine shut off.
Oh yeah,
I don't
my
care.
phone is 99%, and this was with the phone on the off setting.
Doesn't matter.
It's not on the.
I feel like I can look out the window and I can look up and go, yeah, that looks dangerous.
But I felt like because I drove through the part where the rain got bad, that I had just driven into the alert zone of like, this is a flash flood area, and like.
It was okay. So I was at work this morning.
Because the ones overnight that I got one at 7:00 this morning. I got one at 7:45. I got one at 8:15.
That's what I don't get.
But they vibrated. They didn't make a noise. It vibrated like my phone was off. This
like
one
giving you an alert.
You're in a car. You're driving in a flash flood area, and
you're playing music.
Am I on it?
Back up on the freeway. Back up on the freeway.
Because you're playing music.
But what I'm thinking, no, I didn't have the music on. That's what I'm saying. It was just Bluetoothed in. Like I didn't have it.
You were driving and not listening to music?
Because it was so terrifying. It really was. Like it was a whiteout, and I'm like,
not even Donna Summer could get him through
that. Calmed his nerves.
No, I
get it.
When I get nervous or the weather's bad, I just turn off because I just
need to focus.
Yeah, I don't want to get distracted.
That's
I want to
how
hear that
Aaron
song
is
again.
just when we're looking for something.
Because if it's I do that too.
Because if it's quiet,
Isn't that weird?
we'll find
I
it
do the same
easier.
thing. Like, I got to turn this down. I got to figure out what I'm doing.
And
Like,
I
you
was
just need to
what's the
focus.
matter? Yeah.
So the volume, like I said, the volume was set and ready. It just had nothing going on it. And I didn't
Okay.
even have it plugged in. But just that it decided, like, and if I'm in my car and it's Bluetooth and you text me, I'll get the chimes through my car. But if I have it on the off setting, it won't chime. So the fact that it said, Molly, you in danger, girl.
Those alerts break through anything. Like, I can
Yeah,
have
no
everything
shit.
off, volume down, everything shut off, and they come through.
Because overnight it vibrated a lot, like because I had the alarm set on my phone today for that appointment. But I was like, oh, sweet mother of Jesus. That was my.
I would have loved to have seen a dash cam on you.
Yeah,
I would
thank
have
God.
loved-
Now I'm having the leather seats. I could just wipe that off.
Oh, fun.
How about you, fine sir?
Well,
I'm glad you're safe, by the way, Mr. Perkins.
And thank you for making it to the
Absolutely.
show. That's,
Yeah.
And all
I
of
had to
your
go home and put myself
Come
to bed.
hell or high water.
Deb?
I was supposed to be going to the movies, and I'm like, oh no, Mama's got to lay down. I went and
You
got
needed a
milk
nap
and
after
bread. I
that.
had comfort foods, and I took to my bed.
Well, I'm on a new pursuit, and and Mom is on board with me so far. Though I'm sure Mom thinks I'm crazy. I don't know if anybody saw on Facebook that I posted a picture of a bus that I said I was going to put a bid on. Well, no, because first of all, the reserve is set so high, and that's not really the bus I want. However, when the bidding was at $1,000 for this fucking bus that has everything in it, I'm like, well, I'll buy a bus for $1,000 and then we'll flip it. That was what I thought. No, so we've changed our mind. Here's what we're doing. We're now, and I thank my cousin back in Missouri for getting his fiance to take a picture. I'm on a pursuit now to find the last bus that my mom's father drove. He used to drive for Trailways Bus Systems here in the Midwest, actually.
Here in not
not
here.
In the Midwest.
In the Midwest.
I was going to say here in the States is what I was going to say. But anyway, so I found the bus number. With a minimal amount of Google searching, I have managed to find the date it was manufactured, the serial number of the bus, and who it was sold to. So I found that. So now I have started to email out to, there's some actually clubs, the Silver Eagle bus. There's people who are into this car and that car and whatever. Well, there are people who are into buses.
Yeah.
And apparently I have this newfound disease. So anyway, I've emailed a few people to
Is
see.
there an RV gate back there?
Not yet.
I have one at my house, so if you need to park it there,
Yeah.
you would never be able to turn in. But
No, I never. No.
But
no.
you can.
No. I'm already thinking. It's because it's going to go across the street. I'll park it in B's Park.
That's so great.
call.
Anyway,
Hey,
so-
B. Want a bus?
How do you feel?
Yeah. So, anywho, that's my new pursuit. Is I'm looking to see if I can find information about where.
So-
if it could not even be in existence anymore. It could
So
have
wait,
been
but
parted out.
you said you sent some emails. You haven't
Right.
heard anything back
Not
yet.
back. I just sent them today. There, I found on Facebook there is a Silver Eagle bus group.
That is
There
so
really is a
crazy.
place
I
for
love
everyone.
it.
Yeah. So I emailed one of the administrators of that group because it's a closed group. You can't just message him. So I just sent an email to him.
No interlopers.
No, you've got to get approved to be part of their
that
group.
is
Yeah.
hysterical.
So emailed him, and then there was a bus place out of Texas that does a lot of selling of buses and stuff like that. So I emailed them with the information and said, "Look, I know you don't have the bus. I'm guessing you don't, but
What if they did?
what? Right? But I'm like, what would you if you're looking for a specific unit? How would you go about finding it? Because I do have the serial number for the bus. It's like a VIN for a car. So there's a chance that I might be able to go back through maybe states in the Midwest and do VIN searches and
Records,
find
yeah.
if it's even registered, if there's the last owner of it. I mean, for all I know, it could be sitting in a salvage yard with a million parts taken off of it because it was cannibalized for to save other buses' lives. But anyway,
Save other buses' lives.
Yes.
Well,
But then,
at least we
we've
kept the
got
drama
that.
to a minimum.
We've got that bus thing downtown.
look, you told your flood
It's called
story.
a terminal.
Is that what that is? Thank you for that terminology. The bus terminal downtown that has all those cool
Also called
vintage
depots.
buses. They've got all the cool vintage
Yes.
buses. So maybe it could be
It's not there.
not there.
Oh, like a
but
museum
it could be
piece?
somewhere. Yeah,
Maybe. I mean, and a lot of those buses were sold off and then converted into luxury liners for like, well, the Silver Eagle was one of the most
gotta
popular.
Google the Silver Eagle.
Just Google 1973 Silver Eagle
I want one
bus.
too.
I think that's fantastic.
Oh no, because they're okay. Here's what we figured out. So Carlton and I were drinking the other night. I know that surprises you. So we're both looking at all these buses online. We figured out the tank is 130 gallons, so it's going to cost us about
Holy
$500
shit.
to fill it with current prices. But you can drive 1,300 miles on a tank.
I thought you were like 1,300 feet.
Hey, here's
You
one.
could drive right to the next gas station.
This one was converted to a church bus.
Right,
and
no,
it
I
says
don't want
praising God and songs
Yeah.
on the side. So let's hope that's not
So,
your grandpa's
so no,
bus.
what's going to happen is we're going to, instead of that praising God, we're going to put our faces on the side of that bus. We're going to drive around the world.
Boom.
Because I could put a studio.
Ooh.
I could put a
See,
studio in that
Well, there's a
motherfucker.
couple bridges to keep us
These
from driving around the
updated
world.
ones are sexy.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Right. No, so
it's really nice
Yeah,
looking.
that's a little
Like,
bit more
it's-
tricked out. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
what I really would hope to find this in its original state as it was a passenger bus, and because I only want the first few rows of seats to remain, and then for the rest of it we'll take it out and put a radio studio and a bed or something in it so we can all travel around these southwestern states and do shows.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah, no, not gonna do that.
Oh,
Nobody's
hey,
sitting-
Waylon Jennings' tour bus was a 1973 Silver Eagle.
Yeah, very good. See, so we want to be We're going to be Waylon Jennings and drive her
The
around.
outlaw. We want to be the outlaw.
Yes, no. So anywho, that's one of my big pursuits for this week is trying to get that.
That's cool.
See if I can
Clayton.
find it because I think it would be very
That's
cool.
really fun, yeah.
And even if we find out that it is sitting in a salvage yard and just the carcass of it, I would like to go to it and just to take pictures because I just think it's very cool to think of that's the last bus he drove. And I've always, that's more like what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for.
This
right
this is like
Yeah.
back in its heyday
Oh, sure.
when it was in
The one that looks like kind of like a bus.
yeah.
they all vaguely look like a bus.
It
So
resembles
if anybody listening
that remark.
knows anybody that knows how to track down a Silver Eagle bus, then let me know because that would be beneficial to my quest.
I like that picture of your grandpa. That was cool.
Standing
that
in
was
the
a neat
in
photo.
the door of the bus. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
was
I was
really
happy for that because I went to Mom's last night. I called her and I said, you've got a bunch of old pictures, right, in those boxes of yours. She goes, oh yeah, they're in that other room. I'm like, do you happen to have pictures of the day that Grandpa retired? Do you have pictures? Because I know she ran a Super 8 film and she videoed it. But I'm like, she goes, oh sure I do. I'm like, can I come up right now and go through those? And she's like, well, yeah, I guess. So I drove up there last night and we got up both those big boxes of pictures and went through thousands of them. Of course, reminiscing about this thing and that. And she showed me a lot of wonderful pictures of me in various outfits where she used to dress me up all the time after she made all those outfits. Which I think is now why I hate changing clothes, like having to go try on anything. Because Mom made me do it a million times from birth to like 5. Anyway.
There are some cool ass old buses for sale.
There are, and they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
Even some of the bigger ones,
Well,
you're in the $100,000.
Yeah, like I mean, here's a really cheap one for $36,900. But here's one for $75,000.
they're
Here's
all
one for
over.
like $95,000.
There is one that has been
81.
Reasonably priced.
there is one in very south Texas that has really been completely gutted. There's nothing inside of it. They were going to do a conversion.
Just 30 or 40 children from Honduras trying to find shelter.
But it's sitting there, and they only want
Too soon?
like $1,800 for it. Oh, that's the one. You're looking at the very one that I was looking at to bid on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
because it's like one of the cheaper ones at
Right,
a mere
but-
$20,000.
Right.
But
But now see, it's $20,000 on there, but on eBay you don't know what the price is, so the reserve's not been met yet. So I knew he had to be around $20,000.
Yeah.
For the reserve price. Stimulating talk radio about old buses.
I
boys.
want
know
one.
it is.
This is what is happening. I'm buying a bus.
What I want is
This is the shit.
I just think it'd be so much fun to be able to throw a few people together. All the luggage goes in the belly of it. You load up, and we can just take off.
and
Now,
you just like hang out on a bus.
I realize they have RVs for this, and they are already custom outfitted and done with it. I just want the bus, if I can at all get it, the one that was the bus that my grandfather
that would
drove.
be super dope.
That I stood in
and
front of.
and a fun project for you to like.
I think it's
trick out a bus.
and for the most part, it's just all internet searches and emails at this point to see if we can figure out where the hell it is. Who knows? I might. It may be
can
nothing.
say?
It may be something.
That would be very fun though.
We don't
You
have-
can't park it at my house.
They won't. No.
I just want to throw that out there.
I've already.
I'm eliminated that from I want to have first refusal before B is like fuck no.
You're out.
Well, first of all, I can't park at your house because your garage and your driveway don't line up.
Oh, see.
See, that's true. But there is a giant unused backyard that somebody might be eyeing up.
But I could. You could never get the bus in there.
You couldn't.
Your alleyway. There's not enough. Remember, you got to have.
No,
the,
but you could
not
go
enough
through the
turning
gate and
room.
veer. Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I feel a skilled bus driver could do
A
that.
40-foot bus. You're not moving through there. No, you're not. I know this.
You could just park it in the alley and hope no one cares. Just leave
no,
it there.
because
But then you got to move it every Friday for the trash man.
yeah.
no,
that's
fuck
annoying.
it. No, I'll
What
park,
is that
I'll
filthy
park the
thing?
motherfucker at Charlie's. I don't care. And
Oh yeah, that's
there
actually
you
a really
go.
good
that's where
idea.
it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there every day anyway, so why not? I can keep an eye on it. Everything works out pretty well.
What's a mechanophile? Remember, I know that was one of your
That
stories.
was fucking cars.
Oh, that's right. That's
When
right.
they-
Ask,
when
and
they
how
like
funny.
that.
As soon as I did, Richard says, "Ask Marnie. She'll remember.
Oh, that's great.
She'll refresh your memory."
Nice, Richard.
That's right.
And I love that Tom will change
Absolutely.
your name to Margaret. I'm keeping
Oh
that.
my God. Yeah.
Salad.com.
Did you, when you guys were talking, I go, fuck off, Tom.
Wait a minute. And also, did
So
you see
cute.
this that Harrison wrote? There's a dating site for people who love salad. Salad.com.
Come on.
Well,
for
if you,
people,
want,
for
okay,
people of
so-
limited interests.
if you really want to eat your salad
If you-
toss,
yeah,
that's
if you want to toss the salad.
Oh my God, baby.
Do you-
That's
yeah,
the kind of
I went there
salad.
from like, do you like
Yeah.
puppies? No. Do you like
No.
pizza? No. No.
Toss my
Clothes? No.
salad.
How about
There you
salad?
go.
Salad. Oh, that's our love.
Parmesan.
It's the one thing we have in common.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
A place for everything, and please keep everything in its place. Like salad.com, keep to yourself.
stay there.
Right?
Don't reach out.
It is 15 before the hour. We've talked enough about all we did. We're going to do headlines after this.
Miaukel is a bus driver and fellow bus enthusiast.
Is the
Oh, look at that.
Remember that.
Radio Network.
Here we go with some headlines on this Tuesday night. I hope Marnie's ready. If not,
I'm all right.
We'll get it figured out.
Can you get her the pie chart so she can refer back?
I just listen to what I
I'm
do.
ready.
Oh, an astronaut turns out to be a surgeon.
Your argument is invalid.
Man keeps junk in jars.
Oops, where's my arm?
Put the toilet seat down.
A lick and a kick.
Robber tries to make a clean getaway.
The chicken's intent.
And flip-flops cause a water landing in California. These and more titillating stories coming up right now on Q Talk America.
A what landing?
Water,
Water.
water
Okay.
landing.
Oh, sorry, I
Gotcha.
got that.
Titillating tits.
It was titillating.
Titillating.
Titillating landing.
Tits up.
Tits up.
I'm excited that we found another bus enthusiast for you.
Who now,
good.
So Meowcow's a bus enthusiast? Well,
Yeah.
let's.
Driver in Minnesota, I believe.
Well,
Tis love.
what's he
I
driving?
believe
What are you driving? What have you been? So what you been driving? I don't know.
So what are
where
you
to-
doing after?
I don't know where to go for that. Would you like to take the Downtown Express?
you like
Hey!
You want some candy?
My bus doesn't have windows.
We can toss the salad in the back.
Right.
.com.
Oh. .com. Well, an 85-year-old man was unharmed Saturday after he crashed his car into his backyard pool.
Ooh, well played.
Officers responded around 11:45 a.m. to a report in Altadena, California, of a car crashing into a pool. The man was pulling into his garage when the crash occurred. Apparently, his house has a garage door on the front and the back, and he actually drove right through the garage, right into the backyard. The car went through a rear garage door into the backyard swimming pool, ending up fully submerged. By the way, I have a picture of the fully submerged car. There it is.
Oh,
Wow.
Very James
Yep.
Bond, the spy who loved
Yes.
me.
I wonder how the interior.
There it is.
handles
Yeah.
that.
So the car went through. Officials say that the driver of the white sedan was able to get out of the car on his own, and by the time the paramedics arrived, he was unharmed. No one else was in the car or the pool at the time. The driver told authorities that his flip-flops were entangled in the pedals and caused him to lose complete control of the car. And soon after losing this control, he wound up submerged. The California Highway Patrol, otherwise known as CHIPS, is investigating the incident, which I think is stupid. Why would you waste man hours investigating
Right.
an incident when the guy's like, I fucked up and drove my car into my own pool?
in my own house.
Yeah. So I
And
just think it's
everything's
kinda-
okay. Right. Just
And
pull
now
it-
it's hard because
pull it out.
they used to say if your car was submerged to equalize the pressure to open the doors to roll down the windows.
Yeah.
But now
But they're all
ele-
electric.
Now they're all electric, so you could end up
Oh.
in real problems. You probably have to kick out the window.
I don't
But
know.
the pressure's so high that I guess that's one of the problems of being submerged is opening the door.
There
You should just
have it.
always drive around with your windows open.
I question it.
Or don't wear flip flops.
Well, okay, I'm
Yeah.
questioning.
No, and there's a lot of states where that's illegal.
I'm questioning
Like
flip-flops, and I'm also questioning
His
that he's
age.
85.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also, 85-year-olds wear flip flops.
Well, and they could
That's
just
the other
be
thing.
I hope he has a
sandals.
regular
They could be
podiatrist.
Tevas
And
with socks.
he was driving a newer version of your car, so we know your car doesn't float. Just letting you know that now.
There's that.
Well, we learned that last year too.
Almost this morning.
Yeah. Tell me when that gets annoying.
Oh, well, I'm ready.
Too late.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Too late, Alf.
All done. Good. Real good. Thanks. Did you guys know Charles Manson's getting married?
I
No.
saw
Did
the
you know that?
headline.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Where do we send a card?
I know, right?
San
they
Quentin?
just says,
Yeah.
you
Congrats.
can
California
right
State
off.
Penitentiary.
Douchebag. Yeah, so he's getting married to like some 20
There's someone for everyone, just not me.
Well,
Lowered
You want Chuck?
expectations.
if you want Chuck Manson, you too can have him.
Do you like swastikas and murder?
That's right.
And salad?
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is perfect. Good timing,
We've been on
people.
since we
And
walked
at this
through
level
the
of
door,
desperation,
like
I'm just now objecting to the fact that he's too short.
Well, I have a real so the argument is invalid about gay marriage. If Chuck Manson can get married,
The sanctity.
This is a
of
very
marriage.
the
good point,
sanctity
Marnie.
of marriage.
Good point,
it's
Marn.
fucking ridiculous, right? So Lambda has asked, and this is for in Arizona. Lambda Legal asked court to compel Arizona to recognize marriage of gay couple battling serious illness. And I read this, and it just broke my heart that Chuck Manson is getting married.
Yeah.
And that it's okay. And
Yeah.
it's on TV, and it's almost being oddly celebrated by weird people.
Conjugal
Oh
visits
wait,
are a
he's
little
getting married
difficult.
on TV?
No, but they're
just
talking
Oh
about it.
God, I thought they were going to make it like
Jesus,
a reality
who knows?
special.
It could be on court TV.
Married
Yeah.
Chuck
No.
Manson.
I mean,
Married?
and
A
it'll be
Fox
like,
News
yeah.
special.
It'll
A
be
gun
like,
enthusiast Charles Manson
That's what he
marries
becomes.
today.
And then you'll have on the
Heterosexual
other
gun
side,
enthusiast.
the other side, Nancy Grace. Well, I don't like Casey get married.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. Fuck her.
With my,
I hate-
dude,
I
that
can't-
necklace,
I honestly
her
would not mind
handcuffs.
locking her in a cell with Chuck.
Oh, that.
Oh, let him go at it.
Yeah, just
That'd be
Just the two of
awesome.
them.
see who comes
Anyway,
out.
so
Probably her.
Lambda Legal is asking a
She is
federal
more
court,
frightening
a
than
federal
Charles
court,
Manson.
excuse me, to compel the state of Arizona. So that's going to happen immediately to recognize the marriage of George Martinez and Fred McGuire. They're a gay couple from Green Valley. I didn't get a chance to look that up. I'm not sure where that is in Arizona.
I think it's up northwestern, I think.
They've been together for 45 years, and they were married last month in California after George was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer that has metastasized to his liver and told he only had months to live. So they wanted to, Lambda has pushed this through so that their marriage, because oddly they of course had to struggle to get to California with the illnesses, and then they come back here and it's not recognized anyway.
Right.
They know, but it's just not recognized, and there are reasons why it's a big deal, aside from just matters of the heart. So Fred and George, as they near the end of their 45-year journey together, Lambda saying they deserve the freedom to focus on each other, secure in the knowledge that their love and commitment is recognized and respected. Here's why it's a big deal. George, 62, and Fred, 69, of Green Valley, are both veterans of the United States Armed Forces who met in 1969. George served in the Air Force in Vietnam. Fred served in both the U.S. Air Force and Army and was stationed in Guam. Fred has like a pulmonary disease and Parkinson's. George with prostate cancer 3 years ago as a result from his exposure to Agent Orange in Vietnam.
Oh, for the love of
Wow.
fuck.
Right? Now, here's the all we're asking is that
So he's a veteran who already is getting screwed by the VA.
exactly.
Plus, he can't even do
Right.
get benefits because of a marriage.
Exactly.
So
And
many
that's-
things.
that's-
And he can't write his
the-
name in the snow. There's so many things going on.
It's a big deal right now.
No snow in
sad.
Green Valley.
Prostate problems.
They're asking that Arizona respect the marriage and respect the life we've built together for almost half a century. There are a whole lot of straight couples that can't say that. My parents only got 12 years out of that run, you know? Arizona's marriage ban, of course, prevents George from accessing the increased veterans disability compensation through the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, to which disabled veterans with spouses usually are entitled. Furthermore, when George dies, the state will refuse to issue a death certificate to Fred as George's surviving husband, which will interfere with Fred's ability to take care of George's affairs after his death, that people are generally able to do. There are two other plaintiffs that are in this case. Nelda Majors is 75 and Karen Bailey is 74.
The cutest ladies.
Yeah,
And
they
they're
really
out
are
of
cute.
Scottsdale. They've been together for more than 55 years and raised 2 children. It blows my mind.
So, and I
Chuck
still-
Manson.
I have a distant cousin who is divorcing after 6 months.
Wow.
What?
So yeah, distant cousin.
Oh,
but
gay divorce is the next.
divorcing after 6 months, but Kelly and I 8 years.
Right.
No can do.
Oh, you're talking about a straight couple.
a straight couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Divorcing after 6 months.
Oh yeah.
And it's like her third marriage.
And the thing,
additionally,
and
sanctity
it's
of
not
marriage,
as though
people.
gays don't get together and break up, and get together and break up, and that now in some places.
But everyone
I
should
did
be
a
allowed
s-
to do it the same.
But everyone should be able to do it the same.
Everybody should be able to
And-
fuck it up the same.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Just like Bill Maher has said that for like, let everybody just be able to get.
I've always said
To
if
get in
they-
this personal hell.
Yeah.
So when is this case? Why are we so late in the game of getting this case to court? Like, what is the process that's taking so long?
Well, they
because now
have-
we've lost another season, right?
That I don't know.
Legislative season?
Legislative season.
no,
I
but,
don't
No,
know.
because it goes through the
judicial.
courts.
Right.
I don't,
This is through through a federal
no,
court.
I don't know if we lose a season, but I do know there's 2 court cases happening right now in Arizona. So there's this one, and then there's another court case, which our good friend Kathy Young. I don't know if you know Kathy Young. She's been
I know that
an
name.
advocate with HRC. I knew her from HRC, and she and her partner are among 7 couples. I want to
Okay.
say that's different lawsuit than this one. Claiming
Well, this
different
one is trying
things.
This one is trying to do it in like
This is the
a
first
fast
one.
manner,
Yes.
like and speed it up because of
Expeditiously, if you will.
This is the first one. Then they've got the second court case. And why is it taking so long? Just because it's just the process. I don't know. I think that every other state that we've seen fall before us, they had also lengthy things that maybe just perhaps theirs started earlier than ours. I think because we have already had the voter approved amendment supporting gay marriage, and then the voter.
Is this the one Meg Snead is a part of? Yes.
No, so not right now.
No,
I
okay.
don't think so. In
Okay.
in 2006, we had the voter approved. Yes, yay, gay marriage, and then in 2008, we promptly had the voter
right.
taken away.
Yep.
So what we have in Arizona going on is 3 things, and I think Meg is probably a part of the last thing, which is then the Arizona. Why marriage matters Arizona.
Yeah.
That's where kind of all of these groups and organizations. So there's the lawsuit A, lawsuit B, which are both doing the same thing. There's a little bit different wording and a little bit different reasoning behind each
Well,
of
that
them.
one has a federal implication,
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Right.
which is going to stop it. Which is going to stop it from getting further than it can, because just because you recognize it in a state doesn't get you those federal things.
It's
That's
because of those federal benefits that they're really promoting and pushing this.
And then there's the third piece, which is the Why Marriage Matters Arizona campaign, which is ultimately a campaign strictly at this point to influence kind of hearts and minds and just really, really educate people. It's designed to educate the very kind of average Arizona voter, and so that if these court cases don't go through, that if we have to put this back on the ballot, we will have a chance of winning a voter approved amendment because we are working to change the minds and educate people in the state. And that's actually going very, very, very well. And that group is going out there talking to Republican groups, senior citizens, churches in Mesa, big time in the churches. Wow. They're like churches in Peoria and like all over the state.
No, the Mormon church got such backlash from so many different places on the Hawaii and the 8 and the that the Mormon church is kind of like
they have
toned their rhetoric way down. And then in Uganda, I don't know if you heard that horrible anti-sodomy law in Uganda was struck down by Uganda's courts, which
is huge.
Who knew they had a court system?
Right.
And it's all Obama's fault.
Of course.
Well, sure. But even in Arizona, there's a big time Republican political strategic like policy group.
Strategery
is
strategist
is what they do. What did I say?
All these big words.
Yeah, I don't know.
I appreciate the strategic.
But it's a Republican group that's also working with the Why Marriage Matters campaign. So it's
but it wouldn't be the log cabin Republicans because they don't have spines.
No, they hate gays. Actually, it's really interesting how they work.
They hate themselves.
They do.
Yeah,
they do
they're,
indeed.
They're almost the lowest form of life.
They're
Don't underestimate them.
But good things happening in Arizona. It just might take a little. The courts might not. The courts are dicks.
Yeah,
they really might not be on our side ever. But we're hoping to get the people of Arizona.
Well, the courts are falling like dominoes. So just get it in front of them.
I don't think Arizona. I don't know if Arizona.
I just don't. Yeah,
That's fine. I'm just worrying
There's
about.
so many more banjos here than there are in other places in the United States.
But surprising.
And what's our
So
circuit
many.
court district? Like, I can't figure out like why nothing has linked up. Like, which circuit court are we part of? That like,
let's find
you know,
out.
that they already did the Utah, Colorado. You know, that one all went with one circuit court. The one that's ruling in the Mid Atlantic. That circuit court
we
handled
probably
all those
just have the
states.
circuit court of Cunt Jan Brewer.
But who are we?
We're the ninth.
These are my guesses.
We are the Ninth Circuit.
Yep. We are with the federal courts with appellate jurisdiction over the district courts in the following districts: Alaska and Arizona.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. We'd be the last two states, so we would be they lumped us together.
just pictured
But that's
Sarah
what I'm wondering.
Palin and
Why
Jan Brewer
isn't it
having
going?
lunch.
Like, why aren't we part of this group with Utah? But that answers the question of
Because it's just us in Alaska, and
they only had until 19.
they don't care up there in Alaska.
I hate those two people.
Well, so I wonder if Hawaii has their own then, because we're like the 47th state, 48th state.
There was only a way to look it up.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a
1912,
minute.
that's all I got.
Yeah.
Wikipedia's getting crazy because I think someone
Yeah.
else. Oh wait, the United Ninth appellate jurisdiction over the following. Oh wait, there's more than just that.
Okay.
Um,
I'm assuming you went alphabetically.
Alaska, Arizona. I did indeed.
Yeah.
Just didn't open that box there.
I'm going to let that
Certain pieces of California, not all of California, Hawaii, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, and some of Washington.
Okay. So okay.
We're all over the pieces part.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
But Nevada
But Nevada already fell.
already did.
And then, but Nevada had their part of
And
the
California, but they're a whole different story.
Right. So just very strange. And Green
Hawaii.
Valley is actually to the furthest south. That actually borders Mexico.
Oh, then I'm completely wrong. I thought it was up north. Or is it Golden Valley? There's some other valley on the
Valley
way you
is
go
the
through on your way
place
to
be.
Vegas.
Right there.
All right, right down there. Got it. This is Q Talk America at the end of hour one. Hour two is coming right after this little transition. And then Al's going to give us our drinking word, and then the fun really begins, because then we sit here for 2 more hours and say the word over and over and over. Just get loaded. Doesn't matter. You're with us. Thank you for joining us either in the chat room, watching us live, or listening to us live. You are with the show on Q Talk America. We'll be back in just seconds.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening once again. It is just a little past the hour of 8 o'clock. It is a Tuesday night. This is the beginning of hour two. It's the show on Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee alongside Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We come to you each week from 7 to 10. That's Arizona time on a Tuesday night. We'd like to thank everybody for listening. There is Tomo in New Zealand and Richard in Quebec, Canada.
Hi, everybody.
Meow Cal is up in Minnesota. Harrison is in LA, correct? Proper. Is she in LA proper?
Echo Park. Yeah.
Echo Park, she's right
near
there.
downtown
Got
LA.
it. Lovely. Marnie's girls listening. My mom is listening. So many people. Thank you for listening. And if you want to join us in the chat room, please do so. Just go to qtalkamerica.com. At the top of that page, you're going to see a bar that says chat live, and you can click on it, take you right to the page, and you can join the witty and mostly futile conversation that's going on in there, because we're everything from salad lovers to mechanophiles to bus
I gotta go to
enthusiasts.
salad. I gotta
lovers.
do it.
I know you gotta do it.
There's a lot going on. Anyway, beginning of hour two,
I
that
might
always
join you, salad lover.
that always takes us to a segment that we hold near and dear. It's called our drinking game, and it starts off something like this.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Well, our drinking word is in honor of Quebec and everybody from all the Canadians this week. They wanted wee wee.
Wee wee.
That's our wee wee.
I like it.
O-U-I.
I was saying it's O-U-I.
Yeah.
So by the way, whenever you have to get up to go to the loo,
Do you have to wee wee? Wee wee.
Different wee.
it is, but I'm thinking of ways you can
the danger.
incorporate it.
The danger of
synonyms.
Homonyms.
Sound
alike.
Sound alike.
Homonyms.
There we go.
Synonyms.
Anonymity.
Homonymity.
Homonymity. Hamana. Okay. Continuing on with our headlines. Don't forget our drinking word now is wee wee.
Wee
So
wee.
anytime we say wee wee, you take a little drink of your wee wee.
No, don't.
Again, the danger.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Yep. Salad lovers. They have a community on Facebook and Pinterest. I'm thinking they're not lovers.
They also legitimately have saladmatch.com.
Are you ready for this? Oh my God, this is the best one ever. Now have their own sneeze guarded dating app.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Oh, I don't think I want to see that sneeze guard.
Salad match.
Speaking of cleaning things up, police say a suspect accused of robbing a 94-year-old Albuquerque man was caught after he shaved and showered in the victim's home, thereby leaving evidence. We've all seen forensic files. The Albuquerque Journal reports that authorities say 43-year-old Rudy Chavez was arrested Saturday following the bizarre robbery. According to a criminal complaint, Chavez held Glenn Miller, not the big band leader.
Yeah, still dead.
Real dead.
Now, here's what I understand. According to the criminal complaint, Chavez held Mr. Miller at gunpoint while he showered and shaved and then got dressed in Miller's clothing.
Well, that's friendly.
But I'm guessing you're 94. Maybe you're not moving too quick. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then he left with Miller's car, television, and some cash. The complaint says that Chavez told Miller he was committing the robbery because he'd just been released from prison and couldn't find work.
Oh, there you go.
Albuquerque Police Lieutenant Paul Syke said...
there was good work in prison.
As you do.
Yeah.
The police lieutenant, Paul Syke, said the investigators identified Chavez through fingerprints that he'd left on the shaver and on a bottle of mouthwash. Chavez faces a number of charges, including kidnapping. It was not known if he had an attorney at the time.
But he has been freshly
But
shorn. Freshly shorn.
But he's freshly shorn.
I bet they contacted his probation officer and said, yeah, we got this one.
Yeah, exactly. We're just going to send him back.
Gonna give you a replacement. There's that.
So, a lick and a kick.
Oh.
A lick and a kick. Oh,
She's not.
Katie
All right,
Junior's coming back
no,
in.
she's still licking
Talk
something.
about your adding insult to injury.
Okay.
No, really.
All right.
I mean
Wee wee.
that. In Madison, Wisconsin, police say that there was a woman who was cited after climbing into a giraffe exhibit
Oh, I heard
at
about
the
this.
zoo, and then getting kicked in the face
Oh.
By the giraffe.
by the giraffe.
Yeah.
I was
Should've been
hoping it
there.
was going to be by the giraffe. That would make
Yeah.
the story better.
It totally does. I know.
Just
I
a
had to-
random teenager. Fun, but not the same.
The police report says that
He's a high kicker.
24-year-old Amanda Hall of San Luis Obispo.
San Luis.
San Luis.
Luis.
Obispo.
You got to pronounce it. You
That's
got
right.
to white it
I
down.
remember
White it
that.
up there,
White it
lady.
up. She climbed over one fence and almost got over the second fence
Almost.
of the giraffe enclosure at the zoo. But a 2-year-old, 12-foot tall giraffe named Wally gave her a lick and a kick right in the face.
Oh, that a girl.
Right in the
Atta girl.
kisser.
Right in the kisser. Apparently, and
Not
I
in her
did not
wee-wee.
realize this. Like, I knew that giraffes were very strong and actually very fast. Apparently,
Oh, yeah,
when they're
they
running.
are.
They have
Yeah.
the long legs that can run.
Kill lions. Yeah, but they always look
can-
like they're gonna snap their legs, but they're real fast, and they can kill lions. They're capable with their kick of killing lions. The woman was pretty fortunate that she
wasn't a
doesn't
lion?
have. Yeah. There's no roar.
CBS.
Oh, put him home. Do it again. Oh, do it again. Different lion.
Different
Sorry.
lion.
Yeah.
Police ticketed her for harassment of zoo animals.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is a fine of $686, hence the insult to injury.
And a kick in the face.
And a kick in the
Just
face.
round it up to 700 people. What, it got to
Yeah,
piss?
I don't know,
piss
yeah.
me off.
I know, right?
Because I'd be so annoyed. Like,
780
really? 80? You're going to give me change from the 700?
$686.50.
50 fuckers.
Anyway, she did it because she likes giraffes.
Well, now she
They don't
doesn't.
like her.
Well, and they have shown
Was
that they
that like
do not like her.
adult night out at the zoo, like drinking at the zoo? just like a water
No,
bottle
people
of
don't
vodka
need
at
liquor.
the
They're
zoo.
just
What the
stupid at the zoo.
fuck? Who
There's
does
always some of that
There's
lean over and lean over, and you're like,
I'm gonna pet that.
That
Let me-
giraffe looks so
let me-
sweet. I'm
let
gonna
me
just climb in there with
and
it.
Let me play fair right now because I have
you're dating someone who would do
Well, a
it.
little bit. Now, when I say that, when we went to that zoo sanctuary up in Prescott,
No.
there was a rather large bear, let's say, and she's like, I'm gonna go I want to pet it. I want to, whatever. And babe, I'm not making fun of you. I'm imitating. She
Highest form of flattery.
I'm aping. So she goes up.
Wee
Wee. She wanted to go up and play with this rather large bear.
And we're not
She's like,
talking about a fat gay guy. We're talking about an actual animal, right?
No, that was Joe Groob. That was an old friend of hers. But
Important distinction when petting.
The danger.
Yeah.
real big difference.
Danger of homonyms.
Wee.
Yes.
So anyway, she really did. She wanted. Now I, on the other hand, just kind of wanted to go in with the lemurs because they were
Right,
funny,
yeah.
whatever, and you can hold them.
Yeah.
But that would be the difference.
Is she
in our
thinking that this bear is like, he's going to be like,
Her
hey,
friend.
boo boo, we got
Yeah.
Yogi Bears.
I
And
would
all of a
like
sudden,
to go on a picnic.
Yeah, no. There's no
Yeah.
picnic.
And that's
Yeah.
there's a fantastic documentary called Grizzly Man, and it's
Oh, I've
kind
heard
of
of
like
that.
Carson. What's his name? Carson from Queer Eye Meets the Straight Guy. What was that show
Oh,
called?
Carson Kressley or
Carson
Yeah.
Kressley. Mhm.
Yeah.
Carson Kressley meets Tickle Me Elmo while being a complete and total fucktard near grizzly bears in the wild. It's a delight.
$4.95.
I cannot recommend this documentary highly enough. And
$27.50.
Yeah.
but he's retarded. I have to
and who is
I have to
this?
break the wee rule on this one. It's called Grizzly Man.
Wee.
no.
And the best part is that he filmed most of the documentary himself.
Right.
And there's a
Perfect.
surprise ending for a movie that was filmed by the star. But you actually have got
I feel
to
like
see
he
this
definitely
movie.
dies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hardcore.
Oh my
Like kind of
god.
ripped apart.
And-
I would
Wait,
think.
I gotta Google it. Grizzly Man.
Just about 20 minutes into the movie, you are so on the bear side of like, get the annoying fucker
Right.
out of the Alaskan
Yeah.
wilderness.
Just go ahead and rip that fucking
Yeah.
thing apart.
And everybody, and he tells everybody, oh, the bears love me and the government likes my important research. And then they cut to like Ranger Pete. We said no. We emphatically stated he cannot get that close to a bear. We can't save him. They love me up here. We ask him every day to go
leave.
Oh my
home.
god, I have to watch this.
And it's not at all funny. It's just funny if you have my sense of humor that I laughed through the entire thing. Because it was Tickle Me Elmo in the wilderness with a bear that was just going to fucking eat him.
And does.
The bear
It
probably
does.
was like, all right,
And
I'll
then
let you go one
they
more
show
day,
all the
just
footage
one
to
more day.
famed documentarian Herzog. I can't think what Herzog's name is. It's Herzog. I'm making all the right noises with my mouth, but famous documentarian.
Yeah.
And they show him the footage, and he's
Werner
like,
Herzog?
"Yeah, Werner Herzog." They show, and I can't remember if he takes credit for directing him. I think he gets credit for
I
putting it
think
together
it-
and directing it. But you
A
watch
Werner
him watch the
Herzog
footage.
film.
Somebody brings him all the footage and says, "Do you want to make a documentary out of this?" And he's just like quietly delighted. And you really have to have that right sense of humor to catch. Is like, oh yeah, we're letting the world see this.
The man signed a waiver.
One part of the documentary is him watching the documentary he's going to produce, going, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's going to theaters."
This isn't directed.
And not
It's
just
so
the artsy ones.
completely twisted.
I am watching this when I get home.
Oh, you will thank me. The entertainment value is off
I'm
the
literally,
fucking charts.
yeah, no, I'm into
Marty,
it.
did you finish what you were saying? You're okay.
We got a lot of mileage out of that.
Well, I wasn't
sure.
Lick it and kick it.
Yeah, like
Wee wee.
it.
Well, now I know that the three of you don't really have to deal with this, and I don't either, because the toilet seat debate.
Yeah.
Leave a toilet seat up, down, up, down. Because I'm gonna guess you two girls,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always down.
Always.
You live alone, and I have a steadfast rule that when you're done,
Yeah.
you close the
All
whole
of
thing.
it
I don't
down,
like it to
right,
be open.
right.
So, North Dakota man is admitted to assaulting his sister over a toilet seat. WDAY-TV in Fargo reports that 24-year-old Thaddeus Morgan has
great name.
changed his plea to guilty to charges of simple assault and interference with telephone conversation
second one.
during the emergency call. Records show that the fight started when Morgan forgot to put the seat down, which made his sister very mad. Morgan then pushed and hit her. He tried to stop her from calling 911. Leah Viste, which I guess is his sister, Leah Viste is an assistant state attorney in Cass County. Viste tells the station that this was simply a sibling fight that got out of control. Court records show Morgan had been sentenced to 1 year of supervised released and they missed a word in this because I don't write this. Court records show that Morgan has been sentenced to 1 year of supervised, released, and ordered to take an anger management class. Some word is missing in there, but supervised, I don't know, something. He was then released.
I think that means he wears an ankle bracelet.
I don't know.
Likely.
Yeah.
Right.
Or someone takes him to the bathroom.
Fought your
to wee
sister to wee wee.
wee. Wee wee.
Jeez. All right.
Be afraid.
Got it.
Oh. Well, let's do this one. Can you...
What was that?
This is fun.
What was that?
I was going to have you cue up crime scene footage, but...
Well, I can, but
The
are we reenacting?
I'm wondering what the chicken's intent was on this one. In Portland, Oregon, police were told there was a chicken, and it was attempting to cross the road.
Shut up.
Why though? Why?
We don't know the chicken's intent.
We do not.
In fact,
he's in
the
a tent.
No one will. We just can never know. We'll
Yeah.
never know.
He's in a tent?
No.
Well,
Intent.
oh, gotcha.
Not intent. In fact, the citizen who called the police non-emergency line on Monday evening reported that the chicken's efforts to cross a road in North Portland neighborhood were bringing traffic to nearly a standstill.
Oh, my God.
He assured the dispatcher he was not joking. The dispatcher chuckled and asked a clarifying question. Is it just the one chicken? The caller.
Just the one, dear.
Yes.
Just the one.
Yeah.
One cock.
Sergeant
trying to cross.
Sergeant Pete Simpson says responding officers were unable to locate the
I'm glad the
chicken.
dispatcher wasn't last name Sanders.
Yeah.
I'm glad they weren't choking it.
Oh.
And so he notes police were unable
harder.
to determine, because they could not locate the chicken, what the chicken's
Intent was.
Yes.
Oh.
to cross the road.
Oh.
But it still lingers. It's still we.
Oh, your
we
chicken
don't know.
lingers.
We'll never know.
Your chicken lingers.
Don't-
I
no.
used to like chicken lingers.
How would you describe your cooking? Lingering. I'm still gasping.
Explosive,
Combustive engine.
self-exiting. Okay, this next story. It's gonna just brace yourselves because this is just crazy. A 52-year-old man nicknamed the Penis Collector has been arrested by police in Slavonski,
I gotta Google
Croatia.
him.
Good porn comes out of Croatia.
It's Slavonski Brod, which is a small city in eastern Croatia, on suspicion of possessing and collecting of human body organs.
Oh.
The man was apprehended earlier this week when authorities entered his apartment and found jars and jars and shelves of human penises soaking in formaldehyde. Swear to God. According to, and Google this if you need to look it up. According to the sources,
There's a photo.
the man whose name has not been released works as a registered nurse at a city hospital. He has no criminal record and has been described by some people as a family man.
That makes me laugh.
Yeah, described as a family man, though others say that he was an alcoholic who often showed up drunk. In the same story, on behalf of all employees of the hospital, I have to say we're very unpleasantly surprised by an event that threw a shadow over this
Did
hospital.
the shadow look like a penis?
A hospital
Only
spokesperson
the
said,
shadow knows.
Yeah.
a hospital spokesperson said, our apologies to the families of the deceased. It is unclear how exactly police learned about the, quote, collection.
Oh my
Also,
God.
Salad.com.
and this is a bad way sentence. It's also unclear how the man got his hands on so many
Yeah.
penises.
I too enjoyed that
Yeah.
sentence.
Though it is believed they were cut off of dead bodies of hospital patients. The man, who has been released from custody, now awaits criminal charges for disturbing the deceased, which has a maximum sentence of up to 2 years in jail.
Now, my question to you, wee.
Wee wee.
Well, they're
Lots
not
of wee-wees.
wee-weeing anymore. Now, is it 2 years per penis?
That's what I wondered. I wondered that too, but
'Cause that's a lot of years.
That's a good
Wow.
question.
If you actually Google penis collector and then look at images, it's some real weird
Well,
shit.
Jeffrey Dahmer called, still dead.
yeah.
But he called and he wants his collection back.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
Excuse me.
Hello, what a fucking bunch of weirdos. Wow.
They're all crazy weirdos.
What did we
telling you.
Google? Penis collectors?
If you Google penis collector and then look it up, there's interesting things like this piece of wall art that is clay molds of people's genitalia.
No,
So I heard that
that's different.
But it's
heard
really
that a
kinda
guy-
neat.
That he took all these to a taxidermy guy and said, "Make me something." out
No,
of
he
all
just,
these."
I guess he just buys formaldehyde in bulk at Costco and puts them in mason jars.
It could be, but what if he did? I mean, think about the ramifications of that. He takes it to a taxidermist. Taxidermist could then make something
You
for
used
him.
the word ramification.
It'd be like, wee.
Al, what are you doing?
So, but think
I'm
about
looking
it.
at the pictures of the penis
You
collection.
you have
really
all
bizarre.
these penises. You hand back a wallet. The guy makes a wallet out of them. You hand it back,
Is it waterproof?
Oh,
Maybe.
come on. That's
And
just
then-
straight up.
and then he says, "How?" But there were a lot of penises. How did you only make this small wallet? And he goes, "When just put your hands on it, it'll become a stagecoach. That thing will get bigger. Get your hands on it."
Well, you went a long way for
It was,
that.
but you kept interrupting.
Oh, blame me for that, landing poorly.
Speaking of landings,
Unable to stick the landing.
and landing poorly, pilot's artificial arm detaches while landing. Thank you for that.
News at
Yeah.
11.
Segue. Whoops, where's my arm? A British Air accident report has recounted how a pilot briefly lost control of a passenger plane after his artificial arm became detached from the control yoke during landing. Now, you thought you had it bad because that person passed away on your flight.
Oh, I was fine with it. It didn't bug me. Marge just died.
She sure
Yeah.
did. The 46-year-old pilot had
took a longer
shortly
flight.
before checked his prosthetic lower left arm, and it was securely attached. But as he performed a maneuver just before touchdown, the limb became detached.
Does it say what maneuver he was performing?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it did. But I don't know what it is, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to find it. Anyway,
The arm?
No, that just fell down.
All right.
That's why it was almost an accident. You know when you drop something and you're
Oh,
driving
yeah.
in the car?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's
And all
not
of a
like
sudden
you could reach
the
it.
airplane landed in Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, it's not like you could actually reach it anyway because
Yeah.
his arm was so much shorter.
Grab it with your hand. I can't. It's my hand.
I can't. Anyway, no one was hurt, thank God. Except, well, I mean, not even him. He just lost his arm. But next time he's going to be more cautious with checking the attachment of his.
Or just attach it to the plane
prosthesis.
and stick your arm stub to it.
I'm
you
saying, and also he's going to brief his co-pilots about the possibility of a similar event. Now, when we're flying,
There's a chance.
there's
My
a
arm-
chance, a slim chance, but a
I'm
chance
only going to have
nonetheless.
this one.
Yeah.
This
It
one
could
falls
be this.
off.
It could be this. And then that. We don't know.
We don't know.
At this point, we don't.
You work with what you've got.
That's
That's
right.
true.
You do. You do.
It reminds me of that old.
There's
that-
the Americans with Disabilities Act. Of course, they're in Britain. So
Yeah, the Peanuts cartoon when one of the female ones, we'll pick a lesbian. She's drinking.
Lucy?
She's drinking the
peppermint patty.
sure them. She's drinking the cold drink. She's like, I got a head freeze. Like, blow on it. It's my head. I can't blow on it. Blow it. It's my head. I can't blow on it. It's like one of the few cartoons I ever
Marcy?
liked. I don't know.
Sally.
Again, not big on comics or cartoons,
Just
but
go ahead with all of them.
but that
name
just
them.
reminded me that of with the grab it. It's my arm. I can't grab my arm.
But just grab it.
Yeah.
But it's my arm. I can't grab it.
Now, I normally don't look.
Blow on it, but it's my head.
I don't normally look at headlines for this particular, and I'm going to use liberally use the term performer or entertainer for this. But you'll understand that it's got a local tie-in, so you'll see why I'm doing it. It's no secret that one of Britney Spears' songs, the "Oops, I Did It Again," it's one of the iconic video of hers, and everybody knows that song. When you think of Britney Spears, "Oops, I Did It Again" is
And
often
filmed in the Grease High School.
Oh, got
Oh,
it.
is that right?
Well, in large part,
Rydell High.
In large part, that the video was unforgettable due to the interlude that she has in the video with a hot astronaut who brings her the Titanic necklace. I don't know if anybody, and I had to watch it because I didn't remember that.
This
part
is
of it.
an Oops, I Did It Again?
Oops, I Did It Again was in the video. She has an interaction with a hot astronaut. Now, this is the hot astronaut.
Why
He
does he
looks
look
familiar.
familiar?
In the video, that's him in the
Okay,
video. Okay,
right.
got it. So the astronaut's real name is Eli Swanson, and at the turn of the millennium, back in 2000, he was a model working for brands like Ralph Lauren and Nike and Adidas. Well, he's all grown up now. He's 38 years old, and not only he's not an astronaut at all. He's a doctor, and actually, he's better than that. He's a surgeon. Well, requests for comment from Dr. Swanson's office through an employee of his practice has yet to return any calls or notifications, probably because he's busy being a doctor and doesn't really give a shit about the Britney Spears video
Yeah.
anymore. But here's what we do know about him. Since the video, he graduated from Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons in 2006. And after his residency, he's now working as a trauma surgeon in, wait for it,
Florida.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Say his name again?
Eli Swanson. Eli Swanson. He's a trauma surgeon in Phoenix. So if you're in Phoenix or in the area and you happen to break your ankle, look for him.
He'll be the good-looking one.
Yes.
He's
I got
a
a Google
cutie.
him.
No, he's a cutie.
I just thought that was funny.
It is funny.
Yes. So he's here in town, so I'm going to go find him. Eli Swanson is his name.
But I love that he went from like being a model
He was a hot
to being
guy.
a trauma surgeon.
And
That's
now
pretty
he's a
awesome.
hot trauma surgeon.
So my
Yeah.
guess
I'm
is all
guessing.
the modeling, because whatever he did, he pocketed all that money, put himself through school. It's just going to be a guess. I don't know. I may be wrong.
Smart.
I want to know
That's what I did.
where he has privileges.
Well, then you'll figure.
No,
It looks like he's actually.
I work with trauma surgeons every once in a while.
So I figure Al will probably stalk him and find him.
yeah.
This actually says Maricopa Integrated Health System.
Oh, you've already found him. Well, then there is that.
No, I work for Banner, and I have my cup turned the wrong way, so I can't prove it.
But I don't know when that was or if that's still accurate.
Don't know, but I'm hoping. I don't want to break an ankle or break anything, but
He lives close by too.
see,
Oh,
look
hey.
at that.
well, seriously,
25th
that's
Street
some
and Roosevelt.
stalking. Oh,
Wasn't that?
Oh,
I don't know.
he lives right across from.
She's back in.
Now she's back in, right?
Well, no, but the fact that you just found all that, he lives right across from the.
no, that's the hospital. I think that's
the hospital.
That's county.
Thank you, because
Yeah.
I'm like, he lives right there. That's why I went.
Yeah,
Oh,
so his office.
he's not a very successful trauma surgeon.
Wait,
His office is in county.
That's St. Luke's.
Is that
Ish.
Phoenix St.
That's
Luke's?
like 20th.
Yeah.
24th and Roosevelt would be county hospital.
Where
Yeah,
Woody
and
was.
I
Got it,
never
got it.
I never remember
And
where Phoenix
20th
St. Luke's is.
and
You're right, you're
like
right.
Van Buren and
Stimulating for
yeah.
people not in the Phoenix metro area.
Hey, but if you want to break your hip, ankle, or any of the other things he
That's
does,
right. Wee
he is a
wee.
cutie. And I get confused.
Ho, ho.
Oops, I Did It Again is not the one I was thinking of. I remember the astronaut. Oops, I Did It Again. I was thinking of the one where she's in the high school.
In the high school,
Where she's the slutty teenager.
Right.
Oh, that was her very first one.
Yeah.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Should have taken her up on that offer, but I didn't. But all I remember is
Kevin
with
Dasso
Oops,
had
I.
a bet.
Oh, I know. He hates this conversation, but
Yeah.
I was in New York.
Did it again. I feel like I need to like just
The
get it
fact
out.
that
I was in New York at a bar,
I don't know what to
and
do
the
with that.
song came
That's
on, and at the
awesome.
same time, everybody in the bar just turned to the screen and went, "She's not that talented." And I thought, I have found my people.
Yeah.
Like, I had to travel to
Those
New
are
York
your-
to
those
find
are
it.
your
just go
people.
hug everyone at that point. Like,
Right.
I was going to do a story this
And
week.
I like to call it the ironically titled "Best of."
Yeah. This
For
is
those
the
who don't understand the
best-
correct use of irony.
Best lip
Right.
syncing I could possibly do. There was actually a story that came out this week that they're not charges, but they're allegations of her lip syncing in this show in Vegas.
No.
And I'm like, have you not followed her whole goddamn career? Apparently there's a song that she does that actually it's a track from
Just
the
the one,
original
dear?
singer that she's doing. Yeah, like every song. Because I keep joking. Everybody who flocks up there to Vegas to see her, I'm like, why?
It's a horrible show.
She's not
Everyone that has been
She's not
says
performing.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no desire ever to go see her.
No.
Period.
It was like, oh, she's a great dancer.
Not anymore. Maybe at one point she was a little bit, but no, got nothing. Okay,
had great editors.
Yeah, George Michael, same way. Can't dance to save his life,
Yeah.
but those videos make it look like
Donna
he could.
Summer
Yeah,
can't
right?
dance, and the editors can't help her.
Well, yeah.
She has like
Stand
one
there.
move.
Oh God, because I was watching some of her old videos after things you had told me. Because I always save what I pull up here and go back to it later, and there were some silly videos.
Oh yeah.
It was the video that we were talking about last week. I think it was last week of the It's the World or like the
State of Independence.
that one.
Well, she's also mega super pregnant, and videos were new, and black people still weren't on MTV.
Yeah.
So there really was not a big need because no one was going to see that video. It was '82, and black people were not on MTV. Yet.
I saw live.
Oh,
it was
sure.
live. It had the little girl on the
her
stage.
daughter. Oh, that's her daughter. You saw
Yeah.
the
The
Hot
live
Summer
version.
Night concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
The
because the
only
video's
thing-
even worse. But that's her kid. That's
Oh,
that's
now I
Mimi.
gotta look at the
the
video.
one
like-
that sings.
Yeah, that Mimi comes out and sings.
She's
State of
adorable.
Independence. Yeah.
Adorable.
It's funny you say black people weren't on MTV yet because one of the first VJs was J.J. Jackson.
Yeah,
Black
playing all
guy.
white
Yeah, but-
videos. Yeah.
Right, no, but I'm saying, but he
'cause
was
wasn't
on.
Michael
he was
Jackson
on.
the first?
Michael Jackson Beat It was the first
Yeah.
first video by a black person
Yeah.
in heavy rotation. And you know who the first female black person in heavy rotation was?
Tina Turner. I'm
She
gonna
works
guess.
hard for the money.
Huh?
And she couldn't.
Oh.
She can't be the star of it. She can only sing up in the thing. The video had to be about a white woman.
What?
Yeah, because
People
MTV
wouldn't play it.
MTV wouldn't play. And
As recent as the 80s.
Isn't that
That's
insane?
ridiculous.
Well, we're watching.
Yeah, so it had to be a white
right
woman.
Now anyway,
she works.
So.
She had to be a waitress, and then she has to stand up. She can't be in the. If you watch the video, she's standing on a fire escape, way above the dancers, because she's barely in the video.
Oh, I have to watch
That's
again.
I'm watching it now.
Because it's about a white woman dancer. Like it's just craziness. Back
Well,
then.
let's use this to make our transition from headlines of worthless shit to headlines about entertainment things of worthless shit. It's Al Perkins!
Oh, entertainment!
There you go! It's you! You want me to point at you? You're on, bitch!
Wait! Oh, it was all lost. Okay. What? The Creative Arts Emmys, the Schmemmys as they're called, were on. True Blood season finale is this week, and then we have a story. We have a pretty big death, and I want to say our show mascot has a story in the news that we'll get to. There's
a story about
it's just a shitty summer for entertainment. Like there's just not any good movies out.
Who's our show mascot?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Settle the fuck down.
Calm down, Margaret.
Super intriguing.
All right, so
Tomo, I swear to God.
listen, Margaret.
That was my grandma's name. That's why I'm like, oh,
Margot,
come on.
calm it down.
Awesome.
So True Blood will wind up this Sunday with its series finale, and it really has they've done a good swan song. They really have done a nice exit out of it. The couple storylines that I thought were a little bizarre to bring in kind of a really, really secondary, even tertiary character to the show and make her a big part of the last season was really weird, but they wrapped it up in a really nice way that it was really about Tara, that even though Tara dies, sorry, and fuck you, if you're not watching True Blood, you're not going to catch up on it later. But they brought it back, but the series finale is going really well. And so it's on this Sunday, and it's good.
I don't know if anyone else noticed that. He's like, fuck you. Because you're not going to... It was like right at me.
No, it wasn't at all.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I was busy doing
I felt
other
it.
things. Felt it.
I just figure at this
Oui,
point,
oui.
if the
Yeah.
craze of
If you
True Blood
haven't
missed
gotten
it,
on
you're
there,
not going to
You're
go
done.
back.
You're not
Yeah.
going back. So you watch all of the episodes.
Yeah.
So there was an episode where they were at a lake house.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that one?
Uh-huh.
It's recent, and it's my friend's house. It's a friend of mine's
you're
home on Malibu Lake near Malibu, California. It's Malibu. And I've stayed at the house before, so I don't watch True Blood at all. But she had been posting there's a lot of things filmed in this lake.
What did you say?
It's Malibu, so it's not Malib. It's not M-I.
It's like Malibau.
Malibu. It's
okay.
Malibu.
Okay.
But it's very, very near
Trying to
Malibu,
figure it
California.
out,
It's
yeah.
like on the other side of the hills.
And that's
like the
and they
poor
do that
person's-
to make it look like Louisiana, that they film a lot there, right?
They film a lot there because it was really cool. There's been a number of old movies filmed specifically at their little house. Because they're one of the only homes on the lake that hasn't been like updated to a mega mansion, and it's just the cutest little home. And they have a dock out into the lake. And so she was posting all these photos of all of
I want to say that Dexter did some episodes there.
It possible, but right after they were filming True Blood, at her neighbor's house, they were filming Sons of Anarchy, and so then she was posting all these, photos of the Sons of Anarchy crew, and so cool.
Yeah, because there was one season that they really did film in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then I think like the David Duchovny X-Files, somebody put it in their contract like.
Then we're done.
We need to be in LA.
Yeah.
Like this needs to, one of those things where people put in their contract like, I want to be close to my children. Vancouver's been fun, and I love filming in the freezing cold in the winter.
Yeah, but
and everything looks like Virginia, but we're done here.
Right. Yeah.
Because Hannibal's all filmed in Ontario to make it look like anywhere, and they just changed the locale slightly to make it look like, because they're supposed to be in Virginia, and so was the X-Files. So they would film in Vancouver, and then finally, like 4th or 5th season, Dave Duchovny was a big enough star to be like, "Fuck you all!
Yeah,
you're not. You don't need to save money anymore. We're a big hit. We're going to LA." And so they had to do a lot of improv shots that nothing looks like the East Coast in LA. So
yeah, it's very cool, and it does. It's very doesn't look like the West Coast in the mountains. And
so they do a lot of stuff there. And Dexter had a scene in a swamp, and Dexter was all done with green screens. Like most of those people were like just standing on a set with like a whole green screen. Yeah, because they were like
there was just a
nowhere
lot of
near
blood
Miami.
and murdering things.
They were nowhere near Miami.
Stephen, are you wondering about Dexter or which show? He has a thing in here about.
In the chat room, Stephen and Rich are talking about. Rich was talking about Fallen Skies.
Oh, is Stephen? Are you referring to that? Okay.
Yes, and I have it on my list. I seriously, and like in between, I'm trying to make up for all the money I've spent this summer. I've been working like a crazy person. But yes, Falling Skies. I will have an episode watched by next week. Or is Richard starting school?
Next,
So you'll have to hear about it when you go to school. So, anyways, just interesting on that one, or not really interesting, but happened. And then let me follow. We'll go to. This doesn't. I hate this thing. Select all. Copy. Hold on a second. The Creative Arts Emmys are always given out the week before. The Schmemmies. Famously named that by
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. And then she won a couple, so she's not so shitty about the Schmemmies anymore. So some surprising wins, some things that we all root for. They're completely unjustified when they have a cinematography Emmy and Hannibal wasn't even nominated. So these people are fucking lying. Quality is not their highest thing. But outstanding guest actress in a comedy series, which was the big news, was that Uzo Aduba won for guest actress in a comedy series for Orange is the New Black.
That European.
Which was huge. I followed them all on Twitter, on Instagram for some reason. And so like all that I had when I woke up that morning was Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
All of the cast members.
That it won. And she, Morgan Freeman actually did she was against Laverne Cox, could have won and been the first transsexual to win an Emmy. But so the award was presented by Morgan Freeman. And I think they're not televised, so you have to go and find the YouTube clips. But if you get to see the clip where she accepts the award from Morgan Freeman.
I saw all the stills on her Instagram.
Yeah, half of the deal from her was to receive an award from Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, because there was one.
The Emmy was really a secondary.
There
part
was
of
a
the story.
photo where they were facing each other, and she's doing one of these like, "Oh my god" moments, and he's like standing there. It was
and she's
cute.
just snot bubble crying.
Yeah.
It was the time to be like, maybe you could just tell me about this. Don't take 8,000 pictures of me with snot coming out of my nose.
Right.
Outstanding host for reality or game show competition. It should have been Kat Daly for So You Think You Can Dance, but it was Jane Lynch for Hollywood Game Night, and that show is kind of fun.
I was surprised when I watched that once, because I thought it was going to be the worst thing ever.
And it was surprisingly
fun.
entertaining, yes. Unstructured reality program, Deadliest Catch. Structured Shark Tank, not about sharks. I was very disappointed.
Oh my god, I love Shark Tank.
Yeah, but it wasn't sharks, so I couldn't get over it.
That's true, yep.
Variety Special was a tribute to Mel Brooks. Outstanding writing for a variety series, ending the complete reign of Jon Stewart. Stephen Colbert wins again for writing. And last year he finally won the Emmy for the show, The Colbert Report, after like 11 years of winning. Jon Stewart winning.
Took it, yeah.
So it's just, everyone's kind of getting on that page of like just how on the money Colbert is. Like he just has his.
But John Oliver is just coming up,
really
and doing. He's going to take over that spot.
I don't think he's online with Colbert, but he's
getting there.
He's really great.
He's very
really
funny, but his is more
smart.
educational.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like I need pen and paper in hand to take notes, because it feels a little bit like a class lecture that's very funny.
Yeah, okay.
But I walk
And that
away from
makes you
that show
think
feeling
because of
very
it.
informed.
Yeah.
I
agree.
he's smart, but
I love
sarcastic and
the
pointed.
sarcasm is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's very
awesome.
similar. It's a la Colbert.
Yeah, and I fell into a coma and I know we're gonna get to it in an upcoming part, but I fell into a coma this Sunday, so I didn't watch. I'm catching up on this Sunday's TV, and all I saw was True Blood, but I know he covers Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
And from what I understand, like he is the go-to person for your
what you
should
I
say
haven't
about that.
seen it either, but that's what I saw on social media.
Yeah, you guys should watch it.
I gotta
It's
watch
really
it.
Yeah, so
Stephen Colbert I love watching Law and Order. I work from home, and so I'm sitting there, and I always have the shit on, and I look
background,
up
it's a good
in the
one.
background,
Mhm.
yeah,
SVU.
and I
Love
look
it.
up, and I'm like, huh, and on the TV was Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, well,
and I'm like, wait
he
a
was
minute.
an actor.
No, absolutely, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
Him in that in this kind of weird role on Criminal Intent was just, it cracked me up.
Yeah.
I just
and
thought,
then
wait
if
a
you
minute.
really want to find out how good he is as an actor, Strangers with Candy, Amy Sedaris.
Okay.
Where it's him, Amy Sedaris, and Paul. I think it's Paul Dino. Wrote, created, produced it every single week.
Oh, he created that show?
Yeah,
One of the creators?
He was one of the 3 creators, and Colbert and Paul Dino play closeted gay teachers, it's Amy Sedaris' 40-year-old ex-prison junkie prostitute that goes back to high school.
Oui.
Probably one of the funniest shows that's ever been on TV. And Comedy Central, for some reason, canceled it.
Yeah,
But they-
I remember doing like a really late night, probably stoned, definitely drinking sleepover with Waylon Smith at one point in our lives, where we just watched Strangers with Candy on repeat for hours.
The movie is terrible. The actual movie that they made from the series is absolutely horrible.
But the
TV
show
is
is fun.
offensive to everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely everyone. When her mother wants to get rid of her for the summer, so she gives her a box with a tomahawk, an Indian blanket, and I can't remember what the third item is. She's like, "Oh my God, this is from your real mother." It turns out you're Native American. She's like, "Oh my God, well, that makes sense." So then they send her to camp, and I can't remember it's Will Ferrell.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Will Ferrell is leading the camp, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is exciting to be at Native American camp. Have you ever seen this many Native Americans together in one place?" She's like, "Well, OTB, bars, lottery places." And Darren made me turn it off at the bar because Darren could not handle how politically incorrect and offensive the show was.
Darren couldn't handle that. That's odd.
Honey, I like the pole and the pole. So anyways, big thing, directing for a variety series, Saturday Night Live, and then outstanding choreography, nappy tabs. If you watch the show and know how good Napoleon and Tabitha, and again, people watch that stupid Dancing with the Stars bullshit where no one can dance, and here's this fantastic show with truly creative people and some of the best choreographers in the
I
business.
have gone to their live performance.
And it's amazing.
Here, and it's really great.
It really is. I cry every week. It's fantastic television. Last week it was a tribute to Michael Jackson. It took me 2.5 hours to watch what was an hour and 10 minutes of television because I had to watch every dance 2 and 3 times. Yeah. Just amazing. So, and again, I can't even get people like you to watch. So you think like truly people that love dance to watch truly talented dancers, but you'll watch Dancing with the Stars.
I only watch Dancing with the Stars.
Good, and I'm okay if you can watch both, but you
really occasionally. I only watch it occasionally.
But so you think you can dance, and they're coming up the finale.
It is interesting though. I have put it on before, and I just
because there's nobody you know, but you get to know them.
I don't get sucked in,
and it's so much. It's better than American Idol. It's just
Justin Unga loves it and cried every week as well. He'd be like, "Oh my God, I was in tears. You have to watch it," and I
do. I cry every single week. It's so good. So let me think. Outstanding short format live action entertainment program. This is how desperate they are for categories. But Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis
oh my God, amazing.
and President Obama.
Soup's amazing.
If you've ever seen that episode,
yes.
Oh my God.
All of those Between Two Ferns is amazing.
Yeah. But the fact that episode won an Emmy. So you got to wonder if Obama just won an Emmy. Like, who gets? I haven't Googled to see who gets the award.
It has to be Zach Galifianakis.
But you got to wonder.
I'm Googling
if whoever's on there. But so outstanding special class program was the Tony Awards. Outstanding informational series or special, Vice, which we all talk about. Bill Maher finally wins an Emmy, not for his show with his name on it, but for his executive produced. Vice is his show.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, or I'm on CNN whenever there's no news.
Eating things.
Right. Outstanding writing for a nonfiction program, Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey, which is a really, really fun, interesting show with Tice DeGrassi. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? The really smart fucker. He's an astrophysicist or something like that. He's the one that always he argues.
Neil
deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse.
Yeah.
For what's it? Wait, for Cosmos.
For
Tyson,
Cosmos, right?
Tyson deGrassi.
So let me just think. There's a couple other fun ones in here. Outstanding character voiceover performance, Harry Shearer for The Simpsons. Outstanding stunt coordination for a comedy series, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh my God,
I love
yes.
that they got a stunt.
It's awesome.
Just really funny. Outstanding guest actor was Jimmy Fallon for Saturday Night Live. And there was one more in here. Oh, and outstanding original music and lyrics did not go to Sleeping Single in a Twin Bed.
Oh wait,
but
they
it did go to the Tonys. It's Bigger. This year we're bigger. Where he did the whole song and dance with Pippin and remember with all the magic tricks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So amazing that.
Cool.
He didn't write it, though. I found out that Neil Patrick Harris didn't actually write that. It was written for him, because the other years he's done that.
Man, I wanted the twin bed to get it.
I did,
just
too.
Just because I
really
love that
did.
video.
Funny.
Let's do it in my twin bed, twin bed. You're gonna like it.
It's all about Gene.
Oh, my God. Well, this says right here, Politics Sun-Times, I don't know, the Sun-Times Politics says... forget about that Nobel Peace Prize. President Barack Obama won an Emmy over the weekend.
Oh, okay, so he did get. I was wondering because it's just the two of them, and they're kind of improving. So I was wondering how they would give out that thing, and I'm like, I think he got it.
That is so amazing that our president just
So
won
he's
an
the
Emmy.
first American president in history to ever get an Emmy.
Gotta be.
No,
well,
I think Clinton has one for a spoken. I think Clinton does have an Emmy, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, is that an
find
Emmy or is
out.
that an Emmy or would that be?
For a spoken, no, it's for a spoken word recording. I think Clinton did.
I was thinking Grammy. My bad. I was thinking a Grammy.
Yes, and I am too.
Okay.
We both
Emmy.
went Grammy. So outstanding casting for a miniseries, movie, or special was Fargo. Outstanding casting for a drama series was True Detective. Outstanding casting for a comedy series, Orange is the New Black. So I mean, it's all this stuff we're watching. And
stuff
then
you're
my
watching.
husband got
Your husband?
my
What?
husband got an award, and now I have to find it.
What is this breaking news update about your husband?
Everybody knows that I am in love with and about to marry Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
and
Well,
then,
I don't know that Doug Wilkie knows that. 'cause-
Oh, well.
bitches, I got there first. Do not let that cunt. Don't let that see you next Tuesday tell you that he got on the Joseph Gordon-Levitt train before
I'm
me.
just telling you.
Because I told him to watch Mysterious Skin, and I'll
might
tell all
be
of
a
you, Mysterious Skin.
Wee-wee.
Outstanding guest actress in a drama series, Allison Janney, that we talked about with Masters of Sex.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
her.
Where she had a big enough part that
But
she
you-
could have gone supporting or that way. So she won
There
that.
were some other really good people. Wasn't that the category where we kind of liked everyone?
No, it's the one that she's in the next time for supporting actress in a comedy where she is for Mom. She's up for Mom, and she is the favorite there. This was the one that they weren't sure if she was going to win. So Allison
I
Janney
like
has
her.
a really
That's fun.
strong chance of winning
She's
two
fantastic.
Emmys this week. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt won for his show Hit Record, and that I thought was called Hit Record.
Looks the same.
Exactly. So there you go. So that's it for that.
The
But the
danger
Nappy
of
Tabs
homonyms.
thing, Nappy Tabs does they do contemporary hip hop, and they have just done some amazing things. And they won for 3 different things, but one of their ones is Run
elite.
the World, which is Girls We Run the World.
Oh yeah.
And
Sorry.
no, just it's an amazing.
Eisenhower apparently won an Emmy in 1956 for what I do not know. Apparently, now this is on Answers.com. I could
Okay.
be wrong, but it also says that Carter, Clinton, and Obama have won Grammys for talking books.
Yeah, and I
For,
think
for speaking for books. And so that means that Obama would then be the second president to win an Emmy
Wow.
after Eisenhower.
I wonder what
Yeah.
Eisenhower won it for, though.
Let's find out.
yeah, that's worth googling.
Get on that, Katie.
I,
You
like
got
I said,
it.
I don't have a whole lot for entertainment, so we're gonna go here because I'm on the page. So, show mascot in general, I don't know why the fuck he's famous, is in trouble again. Ray J.
Oh, Ray J. Who the
I
fuck
saw
is Ray
something
J?
about Ray J the other day, and I started laughing.
He's in legal hot water. The singer and actor was arraigned. A singer and actor. I like how loosely we're using these terms.
And
Yes.
that means sex tape guy.
Yeah, singer and actor was arraigned on charges of sexual battery,
God, is that
vandalism,
funny?
battery of a police officer, and resisting and delaying a peace officer, stemming from a May incident in the Beverly Wilshire Hotel bar, which he allegedly groped a woman.
Whoa.
You can't get enough. I mean, you. And Beverly Wilshire. Now, the Beverly. No, she was found in the Hilton. She was in the
Beverly
Beverly
Hilton.
Hilton.
Yeah.
Is where he found
Whitney.
Whitney. Because again, finger on the pulse.
Finger on the
For
pulse.
finger on the
That's
pulse.
right. Who the fuck is Ray J?
Who the fuck is Ray J?
That's our first show, folks.
That was.
Go ahead.
Eisenhower. So he didn't actually win like a good Grammy. He won the Governor's Award.
Oh, okay.
For his use and encouragement of television during his presidency.
that's an honorary. That doesn't even
It's
Right.
honorary. So really, Obama's the first
Obama's
one to
first.
like get.
Because that's
An
one of
Emmy for his
when you become
skills.
an EGOT.
Yeah.
It's whether you're competitive or non-competitive, and Barbara Streisand doesn't have a competitive. She has a Tony Award, but it's a non-competitive.
It's like
Tony.
a lifetime.
Yeah, she got an honorary Tony Award.
So she would be. So she's not an EGOT.
She's not an official EGOT, and they're very big sticklers on that about
Well, yeah.
who's got it and who doesn't.
I gotta
And
look up
Liza,
EGOTs.
surprisingly,
It's so
this
exciting.
always surprised. Liza does not have a Grammy.
You would think after all these
I know
years.
that she's mostly known for singing and no
No
Grammy.
Grammy.
No Grammy.
Yeah.
I'm like, read a fucking book because everybody gets this.
I want to know what you threw away,
spoken
Barbara
word
Streisand.
Grammy.
What you threw away?
It was a CD from this last year, I think, 2013. It was called "Release Me," and it was unreleased.
And he released it.
Oh, that got sent back into the wild.
Bad.
Horrible,
Okay.
horrible. There was she recorded a version in the 70s of Randy. Randy, 19-time Academy Award nominee, one time
Newman.
winner. Randy Newman's "I Think It's Gonna Rain Today," which Bette Midler just sung the shit out of it
yeah,
in Beaches.
yeah.
And she does an okay version of that, and she did When My Good Isn't Good Enough. That was pretty good, but she does Home from The Wiz, and she does it in what we can all decide is just the wrong key.
Oh.
And and there's a reason why she never released it, because it's shitty.
Because she knew.
And everybody was like, "Oh, if you
place, I think
yeah."
of home.
And when you get to the big note, like she just
it.
doesn't go.
Is it
and
all on a
you-
minor key, the whole thing, or what is she?
So off. And so I took it back. They only gave me $2 for it at Zia, but
Yeah.
I took
I
it.
wonder- I thought that- I didn't think it was odd when you posted that.
So, Whoopi Goldberg is an EGOT.
EGOT. And hers is
Yeah.
surprisingly, her Tony is not for what you think it is. Let me say it. You think it's for her big Broadway triumph, Whoopi, back when she did My
Mom's
Long Luxurious.
Mobley, isn't it?
No, the
No,
Long
or,
Luxurious
yeah,
Blonde
yeah.
Hair. Remember when she did the 4 characters?
Yeah.
No, it's for producing Thoroughly Modern Millie. She won it as a producer.
Oh.
But
and
that's still
and
competitive,
Emmys,
so
right,
it
and
still
her
counts.
Emmy's not for acting. Her Emmy's for talk show host for The View, the only time they ever won. So hers are competitive, but just not
really.
They're not acting. So you're left with like Rita Moreno, who is
Sure,
like
yeah.
still
The
one of-
list is
everything.
so short.
shockingly short, and they're mostly composers.
And then, of course, Barbara has the non-competitive, and Liza, and James Earl Jones. They're
Right.
the 3 non-competitive.
Yeah, so they don't count.
EGOTs.
But Rita Moreno is the only one
Yeah.
that has it, and all of hers
True,
are
like a true.
right. I think
EGOT.
her Grammy is probably spoken word. It's for
Whose?
Sesame Street.
Rita Moreno.
Let's check
Well,
it out.
you're looking
She's
for
where we
that.
get. She's where we get EGOT from.
Molly makes me laugh. I laugh every time I see Ray J's name because of you people.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
He does not. No, when I did last week, it must have been this story that was on there, and it in the background, I'm working and I just hear Ray J, and I just chuckle. It's like like Pavlov.
And I couldn't resist it. He came up in the
Ding,
news, and I'm
Ray
like,
J.
"Who the fuck is Ray J?"
I don't ever think of him at all, except when I see his name or I hear his name mentioned. I'm like, it always it does make me think of us as well.
Oh, it's very
Damn
funny.
it, I had it all
There's
written.
But also, speaking of Rita Moreno, I went to see also this weekend
Everything's
the
done in
Valley
America.
Valley Youth Theater production of
West Side Story.
and it was just really fun. They just did such a good job.
I've heard good things about that.
Those youth are ridiculous. Like some of them are really gawky and weird and uncomfortable on stage because they're like weird high school boys. Right. But all of the girls looked really much older. I mean, it was everyone was so good. It was just really, really fun to see such incredibly talented young people.
And I've been the 24th. It'll be.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to tell you for years, you should keep your hair natural like mine. No, I'm just kidding. I've been meaning to tell you for the longest time, but
kept
Gee,
my
we're
hair
your hair
natural.
smells terrific.
If I kept my hair natural like yours, I'd be bald.
Thank you. Thank you. That's
You're
what
welcome.
we're looking
You're
for.
welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so this January at the Orpheum, it's Guys and Dolls and
Okay.
Camelot. So
I
we gotta
literally
go.
want to. I actually want to take my daughter, and I just don't know if she could sit through it. But I play one of the old.
I think she's a little young.
But I play one of the old original, one of the really old, still crackly recordings of Guys and Dolls, and she sings it, she dances to it, she wants me to not turn it off.
Yeah.
She might enjoy that song for now, but you know what I mean? Like
she likes all of them.
Oh, does she?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
She likes things like
Oh, you mean, like,
Adelaide's,
playing the whole
not
thing.
Adelaide's
Okay.
Lament, like one of the songs that's not even in maybe the movie version. Adelaide, 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 Adelaide. Like an old taking a chance on me. It's not one I even know, and that's like her favorite song.
Singing it beautifully, but I've
Yeah,
no
you
idea
really
what
are. No,
you're talking about.
it is,
Nothing.
and I like to tell
So I'm
people,
excited.
Guys
But
and
I
Dolls
wanna
is one of
go.
the greatest musicals ever written, and then Camelot. I'm trying to get my friend to bring her young
I will
son because
go,
he
I
likes
will go,
theater,
I will
so
go.
we'll go. We'll get tickets.
And I don't know if may I adjust?
Yeah, please.
If Meow Cal is still listening, but there may be a new Minnesota show in Stillwater called Stillwater.
Oh.
And it may be because of Fargo, triggering people wanting to make something there. They're talking about calling it Stillwater. A New York cop's life spirals out of control once he moves to a small town in Minnesota. They're saying no cast members have been picked yet, but Leah Thompson is from Rochester, Minnesota, southern city, and she is married to the
Howard
director
Deutsch.
and
We've talked about that
and
connection
producer.
before.
And Deutsch also directed Grumpier Old Men, shot in Minnesota. Mark Steven Johnson would be writing one of the first episodes from Hastings, Minnesota. There are lots of ties into Minnesota, and I just thought it was because I like Leah Thompson a lot. And so I thought, and it's called Stillwater, and it's like a really cool city.
That's neat.
Yeah,
and that's good because
really
Fargo,
cool city.
not in Minnesota.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
always
But
cracks me up.
But that's how people associate it, and
Right.
because they go through Duluth and Bemidji, which is in Minnesota.
Yeah, and so in the movie, they only go to Fargo
Exactly,
occasionally.
yeah.
So then we'll finish up entertainment with a death that I think affects a lot of us. On Monday, Don Pardo, the announcer for NBC's Saturday Night Live, starting with its debut in October 1975, passed away at the age of 96. But before he became the iconic voice of SNL, Pardo worked as a war reporter and was later one of the first people to announce the shooting of President Kennedy. Oh. And Tina Fey is quoted as saying, "There's no greater thrill than hearing Don Pardo bellow your name for the first time in the opening credits of SNL. It meant you were officially on television." He started in 1944. Career in news and show business spans 7 decades, according to the Daily News. And he's described as one of the most cherished voices in television history. He will be best known for his SNL introductions. He spent a time as a war reporter for NBC Radio, reading dispatches filed from the front lines in World War II. After the war, he made his mark working as an announcer for comedy and variety TV shows. But on November of 1963, he found himself covering one of the most traumatic events in American history. Following the assassination, he made NBC's first on-air announcement that JFK had been shot in Dallas. And Mrs. Kennedy jumped up and grabbed Mr. Kennedy. She cried, "Oh no!" And he went through and read it all, and that's how most people heard it. Still on radio.
Yeah, that's true. That's what my mom said.
Yeah, in an interview, he's quoted as saying, "Horrible. I mean, I couldn't believe it, Recounting the moment he heard the news, the editor or whoever it was that ran in from the newsroom came in, says, 'We're going to break into the program and mention this. I have a copy of when I read the bulletin. I thought it sounded pretty good considering.' Real cool, man. But now in retrospect, thinking about it, I don't know how I did it. Like, he just read it as a story and didn't put it to what he was telling the nation.
Associate it with what it was.
Yeah, breaking news,
right, yeah.
like some of the biggest ever.
So started in the original, and there's pictures of him where he actually used to stand off camera and do it. And I think you and I had talked about the fact that he officially retired years ago. And he may have
missed
actually told them he was leaving, and they let somebody else announce one episode, and they're like, "Oh, you're coming back." And that's how they got him to do it.
He was one of the only 2 people in history of NBC that had lifetime contracts. Bob Hope was one, and he was the other. So they're like, you got a contract for your whole life, so you might as well do it. So
we done.
So he used to when he moved out to here he lived in Tucson. He used to fly every week on Saturday. He would fly to New York every week and do the live announcing for the show, and then fly back home. Well, then technology progressed along, and he was able to do similar to what we're doing. We do a broadcast, or we can record from here. They would literally, I guess, email him the line or the band names and how it all was. So he recorded all of it and emailed it back to them, and they did it every week. So for many years, he's been doing it remotely, doing the voiceover stuff, and then unfortunately, he just passed. That's so sad to realize that. I did queue up this in case. Obviously, if you've been watching Saturday Night Live, just Google, YouTube it, whatever, you'll find it and you'll hear it.
But you have to Google SNL.
But his voice.
Jeopardy presents today's 3 contestants. This is Mrs. Norma Dancis.
That's a horrible recording, but you can still hear.
And this is Mr. Larry Costgren from
That's just his.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You can.
I like the
He
music
was
in the
also
background.
what was that? What was that?
That was
He
horrible.
was
That was
really
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. It wasn't
Jeopardy.
a parody. It really was the original.
That was the original in 1964.
They had a clip. Brian Williams had a clip tonight on the NBC Nightly News of him doing Showcase Showdown description on The Price is Right.
Oh,
he used to also voice that. So they were like,
No, that was Rod Rodney.
No, originally Don
it was
Pardo
him.
did.
Oh, was it
and
him
they
at
had
first?
him
Okay.
going there like, end up in this box.
What are our parting gifts, Don
Under
Pardo?
pressure, you inadvertently called me Don. I know you realize.
That's wrong guy. Wrong guy. My bad.
But it was fun. They went through all of this stuff, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane to think that he's been
That voice for that long.
Yeah, what 70 years?
Yeah.
70 years.
It says he was no ordinary voice and guarded it closely with cough drops, always with him, just in case.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
But now I have to look that up because
That's what Clayton does.
I mean, I
Yeah,
remember
exactly.
when The Price is Right was a primetime show, because I'm that old. I remember when The Price is Right wasn't a daytime. And I remember when
It
Jeopardy
was a black and white.
No, but it was
prime
part
time.
of. It was a primetime show.
I don't think you need to be a smartass, Katie.
So was
I never had
but
black and white
but
TV.
so was Jeopardy. I didn't either. We always had
that's good.
color. But that's why like certain
There you
friends
go,
of mine
Marnie.
would come over because they had black and white longer than we did.
That's right.
What is that? Hang on. What's this? This was.
Although I did have
Hey,
to
Meow
get up
Cow,
and
I'm on
actually
top of
change the
things.
station.
I'm on top of things. Look in the Star Tribune.
No, that wasn't. Oh, no, here.
What
This
story
is
is it?
this is him.
It's Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's him. That's the voice.
Yeah,
that's
it's
Yeah.
such an iconic part of the show.
Oh yeah.
That it'll be
we
interesting
were-
to see who
like,
they get
dating
to.
back to the announcing the early players.
And actually,
they're not ready for
prime
prime
time.
time.
He
Then
actually
he flubbed.
he flubbed up and transposed two words, and that's how they came up with that.
Oh, really?
He read it wrong.
He said not for ready, or it was very small.
Not
They played
ready
it the
for
first
prime
time, and I
time,
didn't
or-
catch it until they played it the second time. It was not for ready.
That's cool. I
Prime
didn't know
time
that. Okay.
players. Then they said he was nerve. They said it was
Yeah.
nerves, and he was like,
I am so sorry. He was not just the announcer. He was at one point the host of The Price is Right. And I forget that The Price is Right goes back to 1956.
But you
So
don't.
I wasn't
but-
around for the whole thing. But Match,
I wasn't around for the whole thing.
but Match Game, I knew he was the announcer on Match Game. I didn't
Yeah.
remember that that's Don Pardo.
What are the parting gifts, Don Pardo?
And the other one we were talking about, in reference to how things are done. Peter Thomas, Peter Thomas, who is the voice of
Idiot.
Forensic Files. He is another one who, like Pardo, started way back in the 40s and 50s, and did. He's been doing it forever. And I don't remember what his age is, but he's getting up there. He also does it where they email him all the scripts, and he records all of it in Naples, Florida, and then emails the audio files, which literally, I mean, an entire episode of Forensic Files is 22 minutes, and so he probably voice tracks
Spread out over a sparkling hour.
Yeah, right.
right. But they probably his time. He can probably track that whole show in, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. He tracks those because obviously he's not speaking the entire time.
Right.
And Katie and I were talking about, that's the job to get into.
yeah,
Totally.
People email
That's
you
what we want.
scripts. You literally
Well,
sit here
what-
and read it and do whatever you've got to do, and then you email
Yeah.
it back, and they
So aside from you,
yeah.
other big voices, Don Pardo.
Don Pardo, Casey Kasem,
Welcome to a world.
in
a world.
Don
Fontaine
Don
LaFontaine.
LaFontaine.
Yeah.
Casey Kasem.
Casey, right?
Now, what other kind of big voices are there now? I mean,
James
if
Earl Jones
somebody's
is
gonna
still
say,
there.
yeah, correct, but I mean, like the younger generation.
They're-
Now, like, because if you're going to say Ryan Seacrest, I might
No,
vomit.
they're
but,
really.
But
there
he's a
aren't-
host. He's not the.
No,
they
but-
don't really have that person like Rod Rodney. That
right,
just
right.
the Roddy.
That voice.
Rod
Roddy Rod.
died
Yeah.
of breast cancer. Oddly enough.
Is that right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
I
that's
think
it
it's
for
interesting.
entertainment. And it's the last 2 weeks of So You Think You Can Dance. Give it a shot, please. This show is so good, and they're kind of desperate for ratings, and it's amazing.
Don't fuck it up,
television.
people.
Don't
Watch the
fuck it
show.
up. Watch the show.
Aaron's got
It's
it for us.
the end of hour 2 coming up on what is
Morgan
it? It's
Freeman.
hour
Good call.
3 coming up after this. We have Katie coming up with sports and other stuff. I'm going to come back. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned it. We're going to come back right after this crossover and just briefly touch on the wrap up of Shark Week, which for some reason
Oh, I do have something to say
I
about Shark
thought
Week.
went on longer than a week, just because it seems like it was on for fucking ever last
And
year.
you actually watched
Part of it with you.
1 or 2 episodes.
I did. It was crazy. It's Q Talk America. We'll be back in just, I don't know, like 30 seconds. So just stay right where the fuck you are.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Audie McDowell.
Here we are again. It's hour 3. Thank you for being here. We're still discussing everything to do with announcers and people from yesteryear. And Morgan Freeman was brought up as one of the people. The other one who I think is good, and he does a lot of it for different shows, Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. He does a lot of voiceovers for a lot of different documentaries.
And Trucks Chevy. He's like the
spokesperson for some of the, yeah. There's a lot of those things. But
We were
One of
just
the-
talking about the commercials that we had played on here before. The Totes My Goats.
Totes My Goats.
What was that for? Was that Verizon?
That was
Sprint?
not
were-
Roddy McDowell.
Who was the other guy that was on that?
It wasn't Roddy
Hang on.
McDowell because he's
Ryan
dead.
is a
Clockwork
total
Orange.
hottie McHotterson.
Harvey, his amazeballs is like the hottest hottie that ever hottied.
Peter
He's like
Coyote.
a hottie times infinity plus another infinity.
Peter
And his
Coyote.
smile is
Yeah.
totes adored.
Totes
Totes my
adored.
goats. It's cray cray adored.
Totes my goats.
When I heard that,
James
cray-cray, I
Alger.
thought that
Malcolm
was awesome.
McDowell.
Malcolm
Malcolm
McDowell.
McDowell, right.
I'm
From
like,
Clockwork
not Roddy-
Orange, right?
Roddy.
Wasn't he in Clockwork Orange?
And the
Yes.
Time Machine, 1979's fantastic movie, The Time Machine, with Mary
Machine.
Steenburgen, where they chase Jack the Ripper with the time machine. Yep, I'm that nerdy. So Shark Week happened, Discovery, and Discovery has gone ratings over science. They're now too big for their britches. And if you remember last week, I hadn't watched past like the first 25 minutes of that. I told you I was right in the middle of that thing that
Right.
they had, and it was all fake.
right.
And it really was. They were holding it together, together, and then all of a sudden it was, oh, for the love of God! Like the camera angles weren't real. You caught them acting, but they held it together, and it turned out to be 2 hours, which it was like way too long. So now Shark Discovery's getting a lot of trouble for the search for the voodoo shark and search for the submarine shark and all these things, where they have people that are saying that there could be this large predator. The voodoo shark was it was a shark that also swam in freshwater, because I think bull sharks have started going upstream into freshwater rivers to pup, as it will.
Like up the Mississippi, or
they're going up into fresh water, and so that is
That's
a real
what they
thing.
call it, to pup?
pupping.
I think it's called.
I didn't know that.
It
Pretty
is.
sure.
Okay.
So I don't think it's called calve. Whales calve, and I think sharks pup. So I mean, it is. They're kind of doing a little bit of trickery. They're getting in a lot of trouble for people that were like, we don't want to watch Sharknado. There's other stations for that. We want like real information about sharks.
Sure.
And,
I agree.
And the shark conservation, which was one of the big things that that Discovery helped start, was the stopping of killing of great whites. And now their big thing is to stop to get restaurants to stop selling shark fins as a delicacy. It just, me, the part-time animal activist, and I just have to like the animal and then really care for 10 minutes, because most of the time I'm like, kill the fucking animal, who gives a shit. But yeah,
I did find the
Well played on calling yourself out on that. I
one-
appreciate that
I'm
a lot.
I'm gonna put the hanky in the right pocket on that one.
I did find it interesting. The
That's
one that I watched with
fantastic.
you at Carlton's house. That I just think it's very interesting. The tagging, where they're trying to,
I don't mean them
they're tagging him not just for curiosity. Oh, it is curiosity, but real studies to figure out where they are pupping and where they're going. And what's crazy is all of the, and I'm not the biggest environmental person in the world either, but what's so unfortunate is all of these illegal fisher. I'm going to say the wrong word, but like there's all these fishing boats out there that are trapping all of these pregnant sharks, all these sharks, and all this shit.
And all the stuff they're doing, as we learned, and it takes the people shining the light. It takes that movie, The Cove, to find out like dolphin shows are just
insane.
horrifying. Blackfish, to
Blackfish
let you know,
came
like,
on the other day, and I was sitting there. I didn't realize it was on. I had gone through, and I just freaked, because I know I can't watch that.
And SeaWorld's addressing
I can't.
SeaWorld's addressing their lack of
what I
revenue.
heard, yeah.
Their things going down. They're gonna make their they're gonna increase the depth and the size of their pool starting in San Diego, but they can't take the backlash of people like that. Bent fin will haunt them forever. Like that is just when they're like, oh, some sharks develop that, or some whales develop that, and they're like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
And then, like,
You're full of
if you watch the extras, if you rent the DVD, if you watch the extras, the woman that made it was just making something about blaming the trainer for blaming the victim.
Right, yeah.
And saying that it was her fault because she had a ponytail, and you're like,
correct.
Wait, everybody at SeaWorld
Has
has a ponytail.
ponytails.
Like, it can't be that, it can't be this. She said, I wasn't there to bash, and if the interview with her is really enlightening. She's like, I'm not there to bash SeaWorld. She's like, that's not the mission of this. I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy of, like, you're blaming this woman for getting herself killed when you have unsafe practices, and this is a killer whale, killer whale that's gone place to place to place when they don't really kill people. But then they get into the dentation, and they get into like all the things that they're doing wrong. And she's like, I couldn't put them in the documentary because they didn't serve like the thesis of the documentary. showing you the torture of the whales is not what we're here for. But here's what else they're doing wrong, and you find out about their teeth and the ramming of their noses into the thing, and when they're trying to get to the other pen to get to their children and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's horrible, and that was one of the interesting things after I was watching more video about that was that that SeaWorld, their stocks are down. They're like, you can't argue with Wall Street, and like Wall Street and the stocks are down, and all of these things that. They're like, major.
And I love CNN reporting on it.
They have to do something and that's what SeaWorld is trying to do all along has been business as usual. And they're like, no, don't look over there behind the curtain.
Nothing to see.
Look over here, right? And that people are catching on.
Yeah, and people are like
slowly but
canceling
surely.
Trips. The schools aren't going because they're especially if you watch the special features. So much is missing from that documentary, and you have to watch the movie In a World. Because that is still one of the funniest movies, and it's about voiceovers, and it's about people competing for LaFontaine's job after he died, and it's one of the funniest movies.
And isn't his widow and his daughter in it?
Yeah.
Yes, at some point, but Lake Bell actually wrote and directed and stars in it, and she's amazing.
Oh, she wrote it. I love her.
And then one of my so that's it for that. And Shark Week, it's gone a little downhill because they've gone to we're no longer trying to be smart and sharky. Now we're just trying to make stupid entertainment.
Well, after Sharknado was popular,
next thing it's gonna be Honey Boo Boo rides. That's on Sci-Fi Channel. That's
what I'm saying. So Honey Boo Boo rides a whale, but her mom's lost some weight.
Yeah.
But I'm saying maybe after
she needs a new whale. Yeah.
Sharknado got really cool, so people love this stupid shit.
But no, they did it a couple years. They got in a lot of trouble. They did reenactments of a 1911 beach that you were like, really, you're gonna make a TV movie with bad actors and spend no money? Like what we always used to think of cable television TV movies before they started spending money. It was bad. And then one of my favorite ones, and I think it was for Chevy, was Michael C. Hall, Dexter, did a commercial for Chevy, but he did it in the voice of Dex. The voiceovers. Michael C. Hall had his voice where he dealt with everybody in life, so they wouldn't know he was a sociopath. But his voiceovers on the show are in the voice of the killer. He's in the voice of Dexter, with the Dark Passenger, and he did it in the voice of the Dark Passenger. The commercials. Oh. It was very subtle, and you had to be a fan of both to realize oh, that's fucked up.
What you're doing there?
You're doing a car commercial for something that's got trunk room for the body that you just killed. It was very tongue-in-cheek and well done. And I used to make people watch that commercial. I'm like, he's doing it in the voice of a serial killer, telling you about the trunk space. That's just fucking funny.
Extra trunk space.
So that really, Kat Carlson. Who's Kat Carlson?
You know Kat Carlson?
Kat from The Cash.
Kat.
Hi, Kat. What about her?
Hi, Kat.
Is she in the car? I didn't see.
She's not.
And the Facebook message. I don't know, a message.
That's a Facebook message.
I got hit with 8. There's no subtle to these messages.
No,
I'm
all of a sudden I'm like,
I'm sorry, Kat. I knew who you were, but I was thinking of Kat Deely. So
I'm like,
I thought you were talking about the Emmys. I'm well, should Kat Carlson have an Emmy? I don't know. Is she in a Shark?
She might. Well,
yeah, I like that idea. I think that's a lot of fun if she's available. So we're done with that. Sorry,
Oh, that's quite all right. Katie, you ready to go?
Ready.
Here we go.
This week in sports and other stuff. Arizona State football player comes out as gay. A real story of love and basketball.
Oh, yay! I like this story.
I do too.
And then I have to just go there a little bit. That things in Ferguson are just so bad. But not everything, but also white people. And lesbians are having more orgasms than straight women.
Atta girls.
As they should.
Yep.
Thank you.
Wee!
That's where the orgasm takes place, near your wee-wee.
Yeah, that's... yep, you're
making me laugh.
Got it. So, Chip Serafin publicly came out as gay. He's an ASU football player. And this was last week, I think on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So just a day after. I feel like this week tonight, because it's been a week, right? So it's kind of old news around here. But he's a redshirt senior. He made his announcement with Compete magazine, which is run here locally. He's the backup offensive lineman and the first active college football player at a Division I program to publicly come out as gay. So he came out to his team. They say much like Michael Sam, he came out to his teammates before the public. Although he's been living as an out gay man for a long time.
His whole team knew. Everyone knew.
It's never been news to him or anyone else in his life. We were talking about it at an HRC meeting last week, and one of the guys on our committee is like good buddies with him and has been for a long time, and said it was kind of funny when it came out as like breaking news because this guy's like, huh? Because like they've been gay together for a long, long time. So, but he was just saying that as it's becoming more newsworthy and noteworthy, it's one of those moments where it's like step up, and he obviously wanted the news to come from him.
He's a smarty too.
Yeah,
he's not fucking around.
No. And he wanted it to be his story and not anyone else's. And it benefited him. He said it was really personal for me. It benefited my peace of mind greatly. The coolest thing is that the folks at ASU and everyone in their athletic department stepped up in total support of him without question and just said, this is something that we've known, and we're everyone at ASU has been like, we're totally supportive of him. And so I think it's really great. It was kind of interesting. I had a friend, and where was it? Or a Facebook somebody that was like, is this, no. It was a girlfriend of mine. And she didn't mean it maliciously at all. But she's like, when is this done being news?
Right.
And I said, it's when I can get married, when Kelly can adopt our daughter, when we can be like publicly, when everyone can kind of publicly be out and comfortable, then it stops being news.
When you have to stay in the closet, when you're like forcing yourself to stay in the closet because you think you're going to be safer, then it's not news anymore.
Right.
Because it's still a big act of bravery.
Yeah.
There's 4 people.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm looking through this list. We have like one basketball player, one pro football player, one Division I basketball player,
one boxer, one swimmer. It's like lots of women golfers.
Everybody's oh really?
Yeah, a whole bunch of basketball players
and tennis,
a whole bunch of WNBA players,
Come on,
tennis
bake
players.
your chicken.
Yeah.
He's got a degree in biomedical engineering, and he's in Arizona State's master's program.
Yeah, he's a smarty pants.
Yeah.
And anyway, so really exciting, good stuff for him. Michael Sam tweeted at him, which was kind of cool. Courage 2014 hashtag. So
and then they made out. Hashtag see you next Tuesday.
So anyway, that's kind of happening locally. It's exciting news. So a real story of love in basketball, and I have very mixed emotions on this.
Because she didn't ask you.
No.
Because of the other team?
No. So Brittany Griner, the star center of the Phoenix Mercury, and by the way, the Phoenix Mercury has beaten the all-time WNBA record of most games won in a season at like 29 or something wins in a season. So they're holding a record, and they head into the playoffs, which begin this Thursday, and they have home court advantage, because they're the best team in the league this season. So really exciting for them. But so Brittany Griner proposed to her girlfriend, Tulsa Shock forward Gloria Johnson, last week. They announced the news on their Instagram accounts. It's a very sweet picture. It's up. I follow both of them on Instagram because that's my thing.
Follow or stalk?
Mostly stalk.
Come on.
Mostly stalk.
Tomato. I mean, until they sign the actual restraining order, it's all semantics.
So here's what I just can't get on board about.
Oui.
They recently celebrated their 2-month anniversary.
Yeah.
And I just can't get on board for anybody.
Straight or gay, right?
Straight
exactly.
or gay.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hashtag straight or gay.
Thank
this
you.
is a bad life decision.
Yes.
Unless you're going to be engaged for like ad nauseum.
They're 23 and 20 whatever else. Brittany Griner's 23 years old. They call
the impulsiveness of youth.
I'm the happiest person on earth, which okay, fine, almost blah 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 blah.
Have we met everybody on earth though?
Me and my baby are in it for life.
Oh yeah.
And and like what I just don't like is that people are picking it up like it's this great lesbian love story, because when they break up in 6 months, it's going to make everybody look like fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've been
using Arm & Hammer and like baking soda laundry detergent for like 20 years. We're still not in it for life.
Thank
I
you.
can still be swayed.
Hashtag straight or gray. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. But
the first time you say, we're in love, it's forever, and you get shit in your mouth. The second time you're like, well, I like him, and it's gonna be. We'll see how the week goes.
Except for it doesn't happen like that. Like my distant cousin who just is ending her third marriage after 6 months. It just doesn't. People are fucking idiots.
That's when you're a serial monogamist or you're addicted to cake.
Yeah.
Then we have to have an intervention.
And it's a whole lot cheaper to just go buy the cake.
Just buy a cake.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
know.
go get a cake.
Have some people over for dinner.
Yeah.
Dress up
Offer them
fancy.
shitty chicken or
Go get really
unidentifiable meat.
expensive cake too. I mean,
Again.
you don't need to.
So here's what. Here's the other part. So ESPN, I want to say like El Ocho, like there's a W, like ESPN W or something. You know, it's some women's sports.
If it's almost a sport, it's on El Ocho.
Right. So they did this series called 9 for 9, and it's
People
little.
have known each other 9 days and got married.
Yes, she's number one. So we're number one. It's not a good
Elizabeth
thing.
Taylor.
It's not good.
Okay.
So they 9 for 9. Really, really cool. It's all shorts about female athletes in all different arenas. One of my other favorites is Ronda Rousey, the MMA fighter who I like randomly became obsessed with when I was locked in my parents' cabin and had nothing to do but watch that. She's amazing.
It's called masturbation, dear. You don't need to use that long sentence.
Ronda Rousey, amazing.
Self-raping.
Yeah, right. Back her down to the cross. Get her on the cross.
Self-raping.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for a while. Against my will.
No, real against your will.
He's been fighting himself.
Nocturnal emissions, darling.
Don't do it.
So my point to this even longer story is that they did this 9 for 9 documentary for her. Really, really cool. It's actually really awesome. It's really short. And in it, it's her first season in the WNBA and then her first overseas in China and about how she adjusted. And she's got another girlfriend that's the love of her life. In this video, this just happened in this last off season. And the documentary just came out. And now she's engaged to the love of her life. It's embarrassing. Yeah. So I hate the fact, yay. And I really like Brittany Griner and I'm excited. Sure, that's great for her. But it's not going to last. And I hate how people take that position. Right. Anyone, #Straight or Gay, take the position of like authority in a movement.
Right.
Or even like fame. But she's become a poster child in the LGBT movement, and she's getting married after 2 months, and she's never been happier.
And forgive me, but I don't mean to say that 23. I'm not trying to be.
But you are at 23.
Well, you could be my child, so you are a child.
And it's not even a white trash story.
No, not even.
True,
That's the problem.
Because at 45, we could have children at that age.
44 So
I like that you're so excited, but you keep sounding like. That's why you keep sounding like
me?
Yeah.
Well, it has that.
That's what I feel like.
Nice,
yeah.
and it was like the story itself was very nice. But I agree, where you bring up Britney Spears,
right, and her marriage in Vegas, resplendent in torn jeans and a white T-shirt.
72 day
hours.
No. 72 day for Kardashian.
Oh,
and with Chris Humphries, those things are pointed out, but this will be used
run up the flag
and used in court kind of stuff and used in different places. Like, look at those gays. This is what they do.
Right.
But luckily Charles Manson just got married, so there's you can pick up
moot.
the rock,
Your
you can aim for the
argument
glass
is
house.
Invalid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But truly, that's where those fucking nut job Hobby Lobby people come out of whatever. I know that's a different thing, but still.
Right, and they have. Please, selling shit from China, all this stuff. Hobby Lobby, and I saw one. There was one in Western New York, like down by the airport. There was a Hobby Lobby. My sister pointed it out because she's new to Facebook. She's like, "Oh, those are your favorite people." I'm like, I just want to go up and ask them. So, like, are all of you currently pregnant because birth control is like the evil monster in the room, or
right?
I don't know, fucktards.
Yeah, totally, I agree.
So anyhow, that's happening. So. Ferguson, right, is just so bad, and I wouldn't have even necessarily brought it up, but
no,
everybody gets it, right? So Michael Brown was murdered by a police officer. He was an unarmed 18-year-old boy,
shot in the front and in the back, like
six times in the face twice, and they said that all of these shots were survivable, with the exception of based on the autopsy they anticipate. But even that one, they said all the shots were survivable except what they anticipate was the last one. I don't know. That was
the kill shot.
The kill shot, right in the forehead, like right at the top of his
and that's just a crazed 26-year-old cop with a gun. Mm-hmm. That now you have a problem. You have someone who's completely deranged, that has a gun and has a fear of black people. There's no other way to say it.
A fear of black people.
But if you have a fear of black people, why are you working?
It's that
we're 75%
because that's his power. But it's power.
That's power. You have the power over it, and you can. We've all jaywalked. It's race. If I wear a hoodie with Skittles and jaywalk, yeah. Gaywalk. If I do all these things, no one's coming after me because
unless you're in Flagstaff, and I only say that because I have friends that
pulled over. I've gotten pulled over. I've gotten pulled over on my bike when I went the wrong way, but no one drew a gun.
Well, I'm saying, and I only compare it to Flagstaff. It's a horrible, horrible comparison. But in Flagstaff, it's all asshole 26-year-old cops who were douchebags growing up who are now taking it out on college kids, and that is the God's honest truth. Like, I know people that were arrested for jaywalking, for stepping one step on the street. I mean, I saw it happen. Like, kids down at the bars,
but harassing a kid and shooting a kid.
I'm saying it's very, very different. But it's
times.
But that's what I think people are missing in the story. Like, I can
He
go
murdered
jaywalk.
him.
I can go jaywalk and get pulled over and have a cop harass me and be like, all right, yes, I didn't cross with the light. I'm sorry. No one drew a gun. I'm white. I'm not afraid for my life.
You're right.
I don't grow up in that mindset of like, if a cop stops me in the car, and I can't remember it wasn't Don Lemon, who's on the forefront of just like, let's be honest until we can all say, or was it Don Lemon that said that his mother told him if he ever got pulled over to put both hands out the window and make sure that the cop can see your hands because you're going to get shot.
Yeah.
You're a black guy. And then he listed all the cities he's lived in. And he's like, if I get pulled over, this is how I get pulled over. I get pulled over. Me, a white person, gets pulled over. I'll even smart mouth a little bit with the cop because
I'll cry
I'm
to
white.
get out of a ticket. I automatically reach for my stuff. I turn around to look at my daughter. Like, everything's normal.
Any of those things. Unfortunately, if you're black in America, you're a black man, and we just have to get over this thing that like the value of a black man's life has no value. You know what I mean? Like,
well, here's what
because either one in 100. This is a shocking statistic that really is true. Google it. 1 in 100 of every adult in America of any race, color is currently in our prison system. 1% of our entire population. So not just per capita, but by the actual number, we have more people in prison than China. Yep. And they're a communist dictatorship.
Yeah.
Like, it's not per capita. This is not a percentage of the number. This is the actual people in prison. We're winning. That's fucking nuts.
It's crazy.
And people are in pot. White people with pot, not in jail. Like, they have the thing in Ferguson, pulled over. The percentage of people pulled over, it's like, there's number of blacks pulled over, number of whites pulled over.
Because they
and
also
then
have
and the whites have the higher propensity to have contraband drugs on their possession.
Oh yeah, well, it's also like the deep south. So it's these people.
No, it's the.
Well, you're right. It's not.
Crossroads.
But it's people who, I guess I think of like the white people. We're talking about contraband, and we're talking about like, I mean, guns, and I guess I'm just thinking like, I don't know. When I think of that, I just think of people like holding a Confederate flag and hating gays. And like, I think of people with ripped off tank tops and going to Walmart and like having guns in their car.
But this is
That's
where
exactly kind of my thought.
This is where the black gay thing no longer applies really, unless you're getting pulled over for like walking down the street with your purse, you know what I mean? Or like you're dressed like a lumberjack if you're a lesbian. Unless you're clearly doing something
stereotypical.
But unless you're doing something that can make you see it. Most of the time, like that you get pulled over, you're pulled over based on, okay, it's a white woman, I'm not going to do anything. If you get pulled over as a black man, you're going to get shot. And now it's not random, it's not occasionally, it's just our new go-to. There's someone suspicious in a neighborhood in Florida, let's shoot him.
It's so awful.
Remember Terminator 2? You can't kill people. Remember the little kid in Terminator 2? You can't kill people, so he shoots everybody in the knee. Take the kid at the knee.
That's what I don't understand.
If you're in control of a gun and you've been trained in firearms and you think you're under attack,
if you shoot somebody in the knee, the left side of his face was swollen. Don't you know that? He had to go to the goddamn hospital.
Yeah.
And his face was swollen. Look, I'm kidding, because that's fucking ridiculous.
And now when I watch this thing, I watch this thing from Ferguson and I want to put it on Facebook. I just want to say like, oh my God, just do it. We already drove in an army. Like, turns out Ferguson now has a military. Yeah. If you watch those things, and we learned that from Massachusetts. We're hunting for 2 kids.
Exactly. And
yes, they did something horrible, but we brought in a paramilitary and shut down all of
And
Boston.
I don't care whether it's 2 kids. I don't care if they're 18. I don't care if they're 45. I don't care if they're 72. Nobody needs to get shot 6 times. Nobody needs to get shot.
But what I'm
6
saying
times.
is, like, we go right
militarization
from,
of
like,
it.
we go for just straight up paramilitary.
And I get all that, but like, a lot of people I think are becoming more like heart wrenched. I'm not implying you. I'm saying in general about this being a kid. I don't fucking care. anymore.
No, and I'm with you exactly. Just don't go for the kill shot.
Stop shooting people 6 times. If in fact there is a threat, shoot him in the knee.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a gun, which my understanding is did not, that he did not.
He was jaywalking.
Totally
he
unarmed.
wasn't pulled over because of any. He wasn't pulled over for a capital offense, and everybody was like, "Well, we can't release this cop's name because we don't want people to like make a judgment." He just acted as judge, jury, and executioner. He murdered an 18-year-old
kid.
teenager.
Is that I'm, as far as on the other side, I'm excited to hear, and I mean truly excited because this runs in my house just like you're like constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to hear what are the results. Like, what is there? Is there some kind of, because I agree. Was he murdered? Everything I've seen, yes, I believe.
Yeah, and
so.
I can't listen to one more person say, "Well, we're going to use this as an opportunity for training." No, your opportunity for training was like 25,000 fucking years. I can't even make up a number that goes along with that.
Unacceptable.
Like, it's an opportunity for training. You have to be trained to not kill an 18-year-old kid.
Like
and chase him down the street.
Away, by the way,
right? And chase him down the street and shoot him 6 fucking times.
Because how close was he?
And then why do you wonder why is the community at unrest?
Because
that's
you're
what
murdering
I don't understand.
people on
the street.
Yeah, and I have a real issue with protesters and looting and all of that.
But they're not all the same thing.
They're not. They're not
the same thing.
But that's what I mean. Everything's getting mashed together, and those fucking idiots, those fucktards, if you will, that are out there that are breaking into places and burning places, and it's all in the name of Michael Brown. No, it's not.
No.
But then if you remember
from the times of Harvey Milk when they were doing the peaceful protest, and the guy and the school teacher is like, the people are standing on the side going, "Where is your rage? Like, this is not a time." And then all of a sudden it turns into a riot and they turn over cars and start burning shit down. It is the problem, but it also is.
There has to be a middle ground.
Yeah, but I also think burn the fucker down.
So
I'm a firm believer. But you're burning
the fucker down of some guy who tried, or some gal who just is building a business.
Right. But you also have to get everybody on board with restart this community. Start this community
absolutely,
from go.
But there has to be, and I'm speaking just in the clouds, but I mean, my God. But the people that have this business, that someone came in and just ripped
it was Little Korea. They went after Little Korea.
And what the fuck did they have? Come on.
And I don't think they do. And they are different people. And I agree with you to some extent that some people may be using it as an excuse to loot.
I think a lot of people are.
But I also think that there's just
Ferguson.
a lot of
people coming in.
Yeah. But I also think, and that's, there seem to be very different. There's the peaceful protests of the people that live there that are saying,
but then
let's
there's
change
outright
this.
rage because
then they should feel rage.
You should.
And they should feel
what
that.
What if you're raising a black son? How do you tell him you have no shot?
And they feel it.
So go burn that building. No. There's a disconnect in that part.
But I think
but when you're raged, I
don't agree either that they're doing it, that they should be doing it.
I'm just saying. But the middle ground comes in.
But I think you lose a lot of perspective.
Burning something down or murdering your child, burn it down.
You lose a lot of perspective when you're in their shoes. You've lost perspective because the men in your community are just being murdered at will.
Yeah.
And the craziest
all
thing
over the country. And then they bring in a paramilitary.
But then the craziest thing, is that this afternoon, about 4 miles or so away, another black man was murdered. 23 years old, who apparently had he had come out of a Circle K, like a convenience store, and that he had a knife. And he said, "Shoot me now," above his head. "Shoot me now, kill me now," and so they did it. And you know
again, shoot him in the fucking knee.
You know why he's doing it, because he's antagonizing them. Fucking shoot me. Oh yeah, shoot me. That is not.
But every cop,
when you shoot a 23-year-old young, whatever, again,
every
any age
officer that you will ever come in contact with will tell you that's how they're trained, though. So it comes down to.
But I don't. But it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't be.
And then and step 2 should not be driving in tanks like we're in Croatia
and marching.
and marching. Like
I also don't
Across
understand
that freaked me
like,
out.
why
Across
is
the
the-
a big part of America
advancing.
is
Why is the like I have a knife over my head? Why is that? Yeah, automatic kill shot when it's not a shot in the knee. Or what I was thinking today is why are we not
Tasers.
tasering these people?
And a lot of times, my understanding is that a lot of times that is being used, but probably not in Ferguson, Missouri. And that might sound, but
or
I mean,
it could be even worse situation. But you just
no, but I mean, because in New York or some of the bigger cities,
and LA is the worst. LA
I
is the
believe
worst.
those things are being used though.
But LA is like the worst place to be, and they call it, walking while black. You're or black BMW, black man walking. Like that's a criminal offense, and that's what I'm saying. It's just that mindset, and you see like the Sarah Palins and the fucktards of the world that are like, we need our Second Amendment rights because Obama's trying to take our guns. I'd be worried about my Second Amendment rights when all of a sudden my police department is a military.
Yeah, I agree.
When they have Israeli, when the bombs that were supposed to go to Israel to fend off the other people are now in the hands, and that's what they're doing. Yeah. Oh my God. Hamas. I love how
I always call it hummus.
The pronunciation changes on a daily basis.
No, that's just my pronunciation.
How about the first thing we do is we all get together and decide how to pronounce Hamas.
Yeah.
All the news people are all saying it different ways.
When you talk about the kind of stereotype of me wearing a plaid shirt, walking in Flagstaff kind of thing, or a lumberjack kind of thing. Yeah, I may get a lot of flack for this, and that's okay. I don't care because it's my opinion.
We want flack.
So we have our stereotypes. Mm-hmm. If I go on TV, let's say I don't have my yay gay shirt on, I don't need it. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, I think the same thing. Right.
So I go on, I don't need this, but I go on and I'm interviewed for something. There is not a shot in hell that people aren't going to look up at their TV screen and be like, oh, that's a big old dick. Somebody's walking now, whether obviously that's true or it's untrue, but that negative kind of image that someone might get from that or whatever. You have other cultures that become, go to Apache Junction. Can we all describe what we think of? Apache Junction?
Dub T.
Oh, no, and I'm...
No, but hear me. When you have
but there's a stereotype, and then there's a stereotype that makes you shoot to kill.
No, and I agree.
Right,
but I get that. But you have somebody walking down the street, and somebody, that fear that's been instilled for whatever reason.
Right.
I'm not saying shoot them 6 times. I'm not implying
that. But that
at
gets
all.
to like bashing and beatings up and stuff.
Exactly.
It does. But what we're talking about is the protect and serve people. And that's where I think we're all getting lost in the gay community is we're on this whole, but we can be part of this too. No, the cops don't shoot gay people.
No. I don't think we can be part of
They don't see us as kill shot to the head because I was jaywalking.
Right.
Harassment, some abuse. It's not the same as execution style
it's
on a side
it's fear.
street.
It's 26-year-old assholes in police that have too much power. First of all, they have way too much power, and they're scared. Now, I know we could kind of go on and on about this. What I will say is following the death of Michael Brown and all of the kind of chaos that has been happening and things that have been talked about in Ferguson, there have been some inspiring scenes of kindness and generosity, which is one of the headers at Huffington Post. Like, there also are good pieces of this community coming together. People handing out food, water, diapers, supplies to those in need who may have been looted or who may not, because there were interviews of people who are afraid to leave their homes.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those
and
today.
so taking lunches in and things.
Right.
Sure.
So they're helping these folks. There are people setting up free food stations for the peaceful protesters as peaceful protests are happening.
Yep. Right.
That protesters, that people that have been hit with tear gas, again, peaceful protesters that are being tear gassed.
And what I put on Facebook, but I don't want to get in a stupid argument with somebody, is it's black people on the street. Just get the fire hoses and the dogs.
That's what I said to Mom.
Just go full on.
Have you been watching CNN's The 60s?
Selma.
Have you been watching that at all?
I have. Yes.
Mom and I have been watching that, and I keep looking at her going, do you remember this? Do you remember? And we talk about this stuff. And the fact that you're exactly right. That's what I said I keep doing this with those guns kind of marching and everyone across, and how very Soviet Union. But all of that happening, and I'm like, where are the fire hoses?
Just break it out. Just go full on Selma. Why waste fucking time?
One of the interviews on
it's amazing.
NPR.
And people would be like, "Oh no, it's not a racist world anymore. You're playing the race card." And then we're talking about stories from the '80s with MTV not playing black people.
Right.
Then we're talking about like the Freedom Riders, not the Freedom Writers, but the Freedom Riders, who are in our lifetime. Like this is an ancient history.
No,
like we 3 of us were alive. Well, I think I was the only one alive for the Freedom Riders. I think it was like 67, 68.
67, 68.
There was a woman on an NPR article just as I was driving over here talking about the second kid, a family, 3-generation African-American family. And she said that she was glad that her grandson was participating in this because she was like feeling that rage that she felt when she was a youth. And she said, it's scarier now. What you're going through now is worse because we got shot with fire hoses and water. And you're getting shot with guns and being killed.
And
murdered.
then some, and we watch the Bates. We watch Bates Motel. What's that? Is it called Bates Motel?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The psycho thing, and they have that whole plot point about and all the guns and all the shooting, which I don't object to violence, but it's all over pot growers in Oregon, and I'm like, really? And I think that has to be addressed. Like you're introducing like the police and the mob and all these people involved with pot growing and everyone's dying over it. Just make it fucking legal. And then you won't have this 1 in 100 Americans in jail, and a lot of them are for like drug offenses. You're in jail for a huge amount of time in a 3-strike system for something the last 3 presidents have admitted to doing. The last 3 presidents have admitted to smoking pot. They're the president. You're sitting in jail. What's wrong with this fucking picture?
Right.
You can't vote because now you're a class 1 felon.
Yep.
You lose you're disenfranchised. Your odds of getting a job have gone down. You're breaking up families over something the last 3 presidents all have admitted to doing. Like this is the culture. You just have to address what we're doing to this culture and the lack of value of lives we're putting on. And it really is specific to the black man that their life has no value.
Yeah.
They can just be shot.
It does not. And I
There's
think
a suspicious guy in my neighborhood means call the cops, have someone chat with them, find out why you're in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean shoot him
6 times.
So here's one other thing, and we got to move on.
Yeah.
But there was interesting. Just the other side, there's a pro Darren Wilson protesters are also coming out. So this is pro the cop.
This was too much.
And it's really horrible. And they're all white, naturally. And most of them are
afraid of black people because they think they're looking at their TV and they're like, you should be afraid.
And so here's what they say.
There's black people banding together like you've got to get tanks.
If you don't do what the police tell you, if you do what the police tell you to do, if you're not doing anything wrong, which this Michael Brown was not, the cops ask you to do something, then you're not going to have to worry about it. I don't know. He's making no sense. But he says, someone asked, why aren't there any black people at this rally? And he said, I know it sounds wrong, but the black community just doesn't understand the system. This isn't like random old white guy.
Yeah, of course it is.
Again, there's a process. They're screaming about, why isn't Wilson arrested? Why isn't he in jail? Well, there's an investigation being done. You can't go apply for a warrant. Well, why? But Michael Brown's family doesn't have the opportunity to apply for a warrant or whatever the fuck this guy is talking about.
Right, because he had an executioner. He had a judge, jury, and executioner.
This
at the same
guy,
time.
and so even if this particular man, and this is just one man, but even if this man is standing out here talking about there's a system, there's a process. I'm not racist. There's a process. His next remark was, the black people are just going to keep pushing the envelope. There's no reason to stop. It's as simple as training your dog. If you don't tell him to stop biting, guess what? He's going to keep biting you. And when you compare a black teenager crossing his street in his neighborhood
to a dog,
to training your dog, there's your racism.
Yeah. I think what I have
exactly. Let me get a highlighter.
There you have it.
And I think what's so hard for me, and where I just get very almost black and white about it, just kind of like, no, like there has to be a middle ground.
That was a bad pun, Marnie. Very black and white about it.
Done. But I mean, truly, like where I just look at it and think, I don't get it.
Oh yeah, people are the white people at this protest are saying this is not a race thing. They're actually saying stop using the race card.
Then you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. I think it's because I'm not trying to, like I said, live in the clouds. I just don't get it.
Right.
And I don't.
Because it's not. We're all white.
No, absolutely.
But what I'm saying
don't
is
understand why people
because you
react like that.
Because they don't see it from the point of view of like how like you need to go and live the life of a like they need to do the thing of I know it's awful to put on blackface, but you need to go do the thing of like living like a fat girl, living like a black man. Find out what police pull you over for. Remember when if you were a black guy in a nice car, just got pulled over,
right?
Just because why are you in this car?
Why
you shouldn't be driving. Okay, so really bad news happening there. Yes.
Topic.
May I just on a sports thing?
Oh yeah,
that I was going to do. Michael Sam, you had brought up Michael Sam,
right?
Hopefully they can throw the gay shit out the window and not really care about it anymore, because he also not only in his first game, which I mentioned last week, got his the first NFL sack. On
He's
the
got
first
a
play
sack
of the
on
game.
him.
But on Saturday, I believe it was, he sacked his first NFL quarterback. And
boom shakalaka.
Yeah.
Oddly and ironically, it was a Packer. But
Wow.
yes,
Coincidentally.
All right, coincidentally,
now,
my bad.
Now we're going to work on the correct use of irony.
My bad.
I'll get up on that white boy cross.
So, but Matt Flynn, but he had two quarterback hits and a quarterback sack.
All right, Michael Sam. Boom.
Michael Sam. Boom.
Well done.
And another really, really
Sorry,
great
that
news
was a really
before
bad one.
I am done. Lesbians are having more orgasms than straight women. That's right, ladies
So
and
let it be
gentlemen.
written.
A recent study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine focuses on how sexual orientation associates with orgasm frequency in single men and women. They collected online. It was an online questionnaire. They got responses from almost 6,200 men and women between the ages of 21 and 65. They then noticed, This is including, they kind of break down some of the numbers. They were asked to identify their gender, sexual orientation, and percentage of times they orgasm with a familiar partner on a scale from 0 to 100. Here's a shocker.
You cannot do it with an unfamiliar.
A familiar partner. I guess it'd have to be familiar if you're.
Well,
I'd hope.
A trick is a trick.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There have been some drunk nights. Although this is surprising, I'm sure the male participants didn't vary much based on sexual orientation. Heterosexual men reported 85.5% orgasm rate. Gay men reported almost 85% orgasm rate. And then they have the bisexual number is up there as well in men. But the responses from women showed notable variation. Heterosexual women reported orgasming 61.6% of the time. Bisexual women reported orgasming 58% of the time. And lesbian ladies, highest percent at 74.7%.
I like it. I like that article.
So pretty great.
You would think bisexual women would be 50-50.
Oh,
I'm gonna say no to puns.
They're saying just that women in both same sex and that women in same sex relationships are just kind of tuned in, and that might be why they're having more orgasms.
Literally have their finger on the pulse.
They do indeed. So anyway,
Finger
go
on something.
Lezzies. I've got more,
Lezzies.
but I'll save it for next week in
What do you got? What do you got left?
And other stuff.
There is
Tease us.
that.
My teasers for the future: little Michelle Duggar, 19 and counting.
Nice.
Got some Hobby Lobby news, but I'll save it for
because she's
another
a
time.
cunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's horrible because
She's
I
a
love
cunt.
that family has they're such a great little family.
Oh yeah, because there are 90
But
of
they're
them.
horrible.
Because they made their own
They
village.
have their own family reunion every day.
Yeah.
Now, you did not mention about the young gal at the Little League World Series. Throwing shutouts.
Yeah, how old was she?
briefly. She's like 13.
Yeah,
She's
and she
12,
was like
13.
she was throwing 77 mile an hour pitches at the Little
Shutout.
League World Series. The little girl. So I'm sorry.
No.
It was great. It was hashtag throw like a girl all over social media.
And the best thing about her is that she is as humble as can be.
Yeah.
And they interviewed her and they said, "Now, how are you dealing with all of this attention? And what do you think about this?" And she said, "Well, I think I'm in control of it because all I have to do is say no to your interviews."
Whoa.
And
yeah.
you could tell the reporter was like, "Okay, well done."
Yeah,
all right,
there you go.
you have
Okay,
it. But
good
I mean,
job.
good on her to just be like, "No, I'm not nervous and I don't feel pressure because I'm in control of it."
Yeah.
And I thought, "Atta girl."
Yeah, good girl.
Go
I'm sorry,
hashtag
I
drill
forgot
like a
about that.
girl.
Thank you.
I found the link to the Duggar lady, and
She's a cunt.
Yeah, I gotta read it because it looks like it's gonna be a fun. Looks like it's gonna be a fun read.
you
It's
know
pretty
what?
bad. I honestly
Actually-
think she's just so stupid. I literally think she's brainless.
Are you talking about the robocall?
Yeah.
Do you have that? Because we can send it to Clayton for next week.
Oh,
I have it right here.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay. We'll go there next week. Yeah.
That's all.
That's it.
In sports.
Other stuff.
I need some of this dessert. I've been waiting all night to bust in, so I'm just
All
going
right,
to
By the
so-
way, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, well, if nobody's gonna reach for it, I'll just take it home. But I was kind of counting on this
I feel
one.
like there's a pecan pie over to your right there.
I'll let you guys do that, and I'll start this.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
I got my fork here.
I'm aimed and ready.
Oh my God.
Okay. This is kind of a fun one on the SeaWorld thing. If you could release viruses engineered to extinguish any 3 species you wished,
No, done.
what animal or plants would you get rid of? Are there any you'd like to wave goodbye to but wouldn't because of environmental or other concerns? And I hope there'd be one big one on that list. I feel like this
I
one
got
has
mine.
I'm going to guess. I think this one has peanut butter on it.
Oh, it's so good.
I am correct.
Again, make sure I understand the question. If you could release a virus to kill a species or an animal, would you do it? Yes.
Yeah.
And I am not my own species, so just fuck off.
And you said, and what 3? Did you say name 3?
Oh, there's 3.
Apparently there's 3. I have Ann Coulter, Michelle Bachman, and Sarah Palin.
Oh my God. Yes.
Done
wait.
and done.
I was definitely
We
not done.
fucking we.
By the way.
You know, I don't know, because according to Ann Coulter in that fake article, we should, Ebola for the children
Right.
coming across the border.
I believe Ebola are the children.
We have our finger on the pulse
Yeah.
of Ebola.
Finger. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. It's awkward though.
Don't know.
I don't like it.
Don't know.
No, I
Don't ask
like
a lot
it.
of questions.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Hello.
No.
What?
No, I wouldn't.
Come on.
I don't know if I can come up with 3, but I got one good solid one.
If I'm understanding your question, no, because for whatever reason and whatever people believe, I think everything, whether I would love to get rid of all the vermin, and I don't mean certain people that I just named, rats and cockroaches and this and that. Yeah, of course. But everything has its purpose, and everything
What purpose
is here.
does a cockroach have?
I don't know yet. I don't know, but something to outlive us all. I don't know.
Yeah, to make give Tina Turner company when it's all over.
Yeah, because I feel like if I
Share is
say
with us.
Thank you.
I feel like if I say yes, honestly, I don't know if it's a karma thing or what, but I just feel like they're just crazy.
but putting 3 people to the guillotine didn't hurt your karma.
Oh
I
no,
like that
those
part.
3,
Yeah.
those 3,
That's so
fuck it.
funny.
That's different. Those
Wait,
3.
I feel like there's a bonus brownie under here that I
there
did not.
is. That's what I said. That I was like,
Uh-huh.
what? I don't know, but I mean, I guess I just look at it
Are
and
we
I
counting
say
that as a
there's-
lesbian orgasm?
What maybe?
Yeah, just now.
I haven't had anything yet.
That's
so
one
you-
on the night.
I'm not ready for that just yet.
Anyway, but so no.
Oh, bitch, that's not fun.
I would definitely cockroaches. 100%. I've talked about it already tonight. Also, mosquitoes are motherfuckers, and they can just beat it.
They also carry disease.
I've never read the upside to a mosquito.
Never. I talked about bees earlier. God knows we need the bees, so
Yeah.
let's
We
keep
need a
those
lot
around. We
more
need
bees.
more bees.
To scare Balmer or what?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Frighten my child.
Make sure that therapy session's worth every
To
penny I pay.
give her some good, strong
I
backbone.
don't know.
I don't want an uncomfortable silence during the therapy session. I want it to go full on chatter.
I'm like
I
in
want her
this.
to hear bzzz
I'm in
and
this
freak out.
really. I'm in like a insect only mind frame. I think from the start of the conversation earlier and now, I would guess that there would be something else, but I think right now for sure roaches and mosquitoes. They both can fuck off.
Okay. Fuck right off.
Oh, I think when I say what I'm going to say, I think you'll all be on board with me because it's not only they cause damage, it's just there's no reason.
Termites.
No. But again, okay. So that's
They
that.
can't have a purpose either. Yeah.
Oh, and I would just to interrupt you for a
Clayton.
moment.
I'm sorry.
Richard says that her three were all the same species. They were the cock juggling thundercunts.
I love it, Richard. I love
That's-
it.
Yes.
As I sit in the helicopter and watch Jim risk certain death while trying to corral the cock juggling
I'm Marlon
thundercunts.
Perkins, and I'm smart enough to stay in the studio.
Sponsored by Mutual of Omaha.
You gotta hope he had good insurance.
I would eliminate pigeons. Everywhere. There's I do not know of any value at all to a
I gotta
pigeon.
Google it because I don't either.
They shit the seeds. They eat the seeds. I think it's germination.
Yeah,
from
but they
the
shit
pooping.
horrible new grasses into my backyard that I can't get rid of.
No, but aside from that, look at all
So
the
who
nastiness
needs
on the
them?
tops of so many buildings. Like
I'm
that,
not saying all their shit is art. I'm just saying I think it might be that they poop out the seeds somewhere else.
and they're not
This
indigenous
is the
to
first one
America.
that we've come up with that I think I know what, like cockroaches and ants. I kind of get decomposition, but cockroaches I got nothing.
You mean pigeons? You got nothing.
No, pigeons. I think it is the shitting.
Oh, good. Well, I still don't think we need them.
No, I mean
They're filthy,
again,
vile. They're everywhere.
My loyalty will stay true. I will vote for the pigeon.
I just don't.
I'm voting pigeon off the island.
Exactly.
You're gone.
Off the whole goddamn world
You're
because
gone.
they're not indigenous to
Will the
America.
gentleman from New York please express his opinion on pigeons?
We.
This person, there is just a quick answer about pigeons, but really it doesn't. It says other things eat them, and
but
their
well,
seeds spread. But these they're saying like hawks eat pigeons. Well, hawks eat other shit too. We
Yeah,
don't
everything.
need pigeons.
Pigeons, yeah.
And also
Well,
other
well,
birds.
maybe-
Someone I put hawk food out made specifically of pigeons that I
Maybe
killed.
what we need are more hawks.
Yeah.
We need more hawks.
That's what hawks, falcons, and snakes.
But
Boom, let's do it.
the interesting thing about
More snakes? What is wrong with you?
They eat
pigeons.
pigeons.
You're all fucking weird. No.
yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep it. You want more snakes? Fuck off. You don't get it. My girlfriend brought
All right,
that
Wait,
shit.
what were? Did you have other ones, Clayton, or were you?
No, that was
on
the
with
first. That's always. I would if I could even.
But I think you were on board with cockroaches.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure I'm on board because I don't know what other value they have. But
And
yeah,
if we didn't do it, we
termites-
wouldn't pay exterminators. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if we.
Now you save money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
I'm
know
on
what
board.
I don't know what the point of ticks, bed bugs, roaches, any of those. I don't get
Bed
what
bugs.
the value
We
of any of that.
fucking All right.
Right.
Bed bugs. That's
But
a good one.
I don't.
Fleas, pestilence.
I've often thought if there was a way, because there's so many things in technology they can do. I would say they formulate a pigeon feed of some sort. Maybe if there's that you feed them and it sterilizes them. That way, nobody's killing anything. It just
Good.
sterilizes them, and then they eventually just are gone.
But life finds a way, as Jeff Goldblum said
sure
in Jurassic
does.
Park, and you know that they're gonna mix with some other
And it'll be
horrible
like
bird.
it'll be a fucking
fucking
it'll
pigeon.
be a pigeon hawk.
Yeah,
Pigeon
And
hawk.
it'll be like all
it'll be dive bombing and shitting on your car at the same
with a
time.
really big wingspan.
Like a fucking dactyl. Wee wee. That's what you have to say to them because
That's
they'll,
right.
they'll own your
Oh, they'll be
house.
pissing all over you. I don't know. I just think everything kind of has a I don't know.
You
and
start
I
singing
don't
"Everything
like 'em.
Has a Reason." I'm gonna shove
No,
that chair
but
through that wall.
I just
you start
don't-
doing songs from Pippin.
I don't
gonna have
even
a-
know what that means.
We're gonna have a lesbian down.
No, I just don't. I don't want mice. I don't want rats and snakes and God, all those horrible, horrible things. No, I don't want them. But again, I said I'd get rid of Ann Coulter, Michelle Bachmann, and Sarah Palin. So it's
I can't
real
find the
similar.
intrinsic worth
No,
in
no.
any.
I keep coming right back to that.
Thundercunts. The species of thundercunts, I think, are gone.
Cock juggling.
Cock juggling thundercunts. The only thing I agree with all of your fine choices except for Wimpy over here. Just because she brought you a brownie doesn't mean you have to love every animal.
Oh, that's not why.
Mine would be jellyfish until I'm given a specific reason why that filthy fucking creature exists. That's the only thing that will
In
get me
every
out of
color.
the ocean. And like the one that recently I was in the ocean and someone pointed out, you know what that thing is by you? And I was like, I don't know, a used condom. And I kept swimming. They're like, jellyfish. I'm like, I'm out,
Yeah.
I'm done. Don't even want to know what that's gonna be like.
The red, were they red? Were they clear?
They were clear because I really did think it was a used condom.
Yeah, no, they have.
Well,
and you're fine to swim with that.
I've had them inside me. Swimming with them is
Super, super good point, Al. Real
Yes.
good point.
Oui.
gentleman from New York makes a wee point. All right, so your
He earns a wee.
the follow-up question is, and it's only for you because you're the only one that pussied out. So if you would not get rid of any species, do you think scientists should stop trying to wipe out malaria parasites, which kill 3,000 people a day, and the tsetse fly, which spreads sleeping sickness to nearly as many?
Ooh, that's a good one. Let's get rid of that one. Tsetse, you're out. You're off the island.
So you know what I mean?
But you're saying get rid of diseases.
But again, it's any
because
three
those
species.
are the carriers.
Right. So a tsetse
these
fly
things.
is a species. So that's what I'm saying. So they're just saying. So would you say like, oh no.
Oh, don't kill that.
Right.
No.
And then so the other follow-up question was, so since you want other people to have them, you just pay the exterminator to make sure you don't have them. You just don't want to be the kicker of the right.
Totally.
You don't want to get rid of the cockroach. You just don't want to see them.
Kill them all. Yeah, I see something move in my house.
So you're
like,
the anti-choice person that wants someone else to raise the kids.
Yeah, totally.
There you go.
Yeah, fuck off.
I took that to a really strange political
Yeah,
point,
you did.
didn't I?
Yeah, I kind of think so.
Vodka works for me.
I like
it.
Pardon me.
Here we go.
Without reading this like really super long article on Nature, the International Weekly Journal of Science, well, that sounds exciting. It says, ecology, a world without mosquitoes. Eradicating any organism would have serious consequences for ecosystems, wouldn't it? Not when it comes to mosquitoes, finds
There you
Dr.
go.
Janet Fang. So fuck yeah, let's get rid of them.
Yeah, they're
Absolutely.
gone. Off the island.
You're
with
done.
the last 3 minutes, I'm curious of you two. Well,
People have been curious about us for years.
and I don't mean Bono and the Edge. There was
Still not on board with puns.
Yeah, not with that.
There was an article that I found that I thought was kind of interesting. A young gay blogger, from his
You mean me?
perspective, gay men over 30 should stay out of the clubs.
That's a true story.
He goes through this whole thing about Peter Pan syndrome.
Ooh.
I know very well that I cannot fly. I'm not. There's
There's no party drug
delusional.
that is going to take you there.
No,
Right.
but I was just curious, as there are two people that are verging on 30 that
Does that mean stepped all over it and walked by it?
maybe
About 20 years ago?
Yeah.
it's been eradicated.
50 to 20 years ago.
I thought the first one, like, I caught this headline, and the first story I read, it was like men over 40. Now you've got saying
This
30.
says, gay men over 30.
Because what
should
happened is
stay out of the clubs.
somebody at 45 read it, got pissed, and decided.
Right. I read the same thing. There was because there was a different article, and it's by gay men who are 50 that wrote something in response to this.
It's also
being-
called bitter.
Yeah.
That report is also
Bitter.
parenthetically
Party of one.
Parenthetically bitter.
Bitter.
Right, bitter party of one.
Comment,
But not always.
the first comment, trust you'll be that way sometime soon, and those words will bite you on the ass, because nobody would want to be a bit tired, flat piece of white trash ass, whatever. You better watch
My name
your
is
words.
Al.
You'll be there soon enough, you punk ass bitch.
Right.
By the way, all in caps and severely misspelled, and
Because he was so fucking angry.
He was real mad, punk ass bitch.
Holding onto his colostomy bag and his crown and water.
Shut it, you punk ass bitch.
I do not want to help you clean that colostomy bag.
No, not at all.
Punk ass.
Anyway, I
Punk
just thought it
ass.
was interesting.
I think natural selection takes over at once you get to 30, the idea of like 5 nights a week in
30,
a club
35, right.
starts to be like, oh, no, I can't do it. And you're at weekends and you're the binge. And then at 40, you're like, okay, we just got to slow this train down. Like,
right.
like I do not need to sit honestly through another bachelorette party. That really is what killed gay bars for me, was
I'm
the
sure.
bachelorette party.
I'm sure.
I'm not a ride at Disneyland. Y'all's got to go.
Yeah. Look at he's so
You're off
funny.
you're off the island,
Yeah.
bachelorettes.
He's
And then
so
the, you know,
You and the mosquitoes and the cockroaches. You're all
Sure.
out of here.
I would put that species on the bachelorette party. Really has to
Yeah.
be controlled. No, but I think and I just recently had a conversation with somebody who was like, well, I can't just sit at home. And I'm like, if you like where you live and you like yourself, that's a big part of, I think, enjoying your own company. Is you have to like
real
yourself,
tired.
like where you live, and you're a little tired. Like the
I'm
idea of
soups
like,
tired.
I can't hold this together with caffeine and luck anymore. You know what I mean? Like spit glue, duct tape, and coffee are not keeping this train moving
Right, yeah,
anymore.
right.
We need sleep and a little time on a pillow.
Absolutely.
And it does make it. To me, that makes a difference. And I think it is natural selection.
I've thought it for years. I thought it for years because I work there still, and it's like it's so hard still to say no to cash.
Oh God!
And because there's so many times that I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to push play again. I don't want to get up. I don't want to have the remark back, the volley back to the comment.
Because you know exactly what it is. Because it becomes the
it's
same.
just repetitive.
But like Harrison and I, when I used to go visit her in San Diego, and she had a slightly older roommate. You know, in my mind, she was 70, but she's probably like. We were only like 2 years apart, but she was of the age and of the mindset of like, oh my God, you guys are going out again. Like, oh my God, you're gonna stay in on a Saturday night. Why not kill yourself?
Right, exactly.
And then you fast forward 10 years, and it was like, you know, we could just sit here with a glass of wine and some friends and have a nice conversation and have a truly fun evening with just us. But then you suggest it to younger people, and you see that look come over their eyes, like,
"Oh God,
oh no, it's a pasture. We're all gonna die."
Right. And the funny, they're putting us out. Right. Well, and the funny part is that listening to this, when I read this, and then listening to this right now, makes me laugh because when we're 20, when we're 21, 22, 23, this is stuff that parents might say. Right, our parents, and you're like, "Oh my God, you're so old," and I can't, you know, I can't. Well, mine didn't. She quit drinking at 46.
The alternative, though, is that it's a dead dude. Like, if you're alive to tell the story, eventually you're like, you know what, we're gonna slow this train down. And now,
but you never think.
And now I'm in this place of living on coffee and duct tape because of work,
right?
And I've just worked a lot, so now it's like, no, I got to go home and go to bed, and it's from smart life choices that make me just as exhausted, cranky, and bitchy as I was when I was mean hungover 20 years ago.
But I have to say, going, like, any of that, and I understand this is about the guys and older, younger guys, but going into the clubs and whatever, and clubs, let's use that loosely. I do not dance. And there's no real club.
Oh, but I used to. Oh my God, I used to love to dance.
Club.
Right.
Do we have? Come on. So, no offense to anyone.
We did. We had some good ones.
Yes. I was at
and there may still be some, but they're not operating. I am no longer the target audience.
No, we don't know about them anymore.
Yeah.
No,
so them and Nickelodeon
okay.
are operating without my knowledge now.
Oh, I have to go home. I forgot my lightsaber.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
Glow sticks.
Thank you. Whatever.
My lightsaber. Awesome.
Oui.
You're not going dancing on the Death Star.
Well, yeah. I'm Princess Leia. Look,
look at
really,
you.
I know.
Kind of.
You go in there and I hear myself, because that's all I can hear when you go into certain places. And then when we go to leave, I'm like, it was so loud. Like, it just.
Oh, yeah.
God, it was really loud. Did you think it was loud? I thought it was kind of loud.
But we've all done that. Like, I want to go and have a conversation.
Oh my God,
I got to turn the music down.
Oh, yeah, and you can't go there because you're just going to yell at each
other.
other.
Let's go somewhere we can talk.
I've brought that up 1,000 times before. Like, that was one of the things that I used to like, and I know I talk about all the time. Literally, like, if it wasn't a show night, like, you had several other nights of the week where you could go to Winks because it was just a kind of a little cabaret. They didn't have a big sound system. You could. It was a conversation bar.
Absolutely.
And that was exactly what it was. But now you can't. Like, I love Stacy's, but good God, last night I was sitting there with Todd because we, on Monday nights, we've been just meeting up and just hanging out, and we talk for a couple hours and whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how loud are they going to sing that song? Because it's in your face.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that and I hear myself and I think, oh.
Maybe we're getting old.
There it is.
And everybody's talking about dating older guys and younger guys. And when I was younger, a little bit older.
I'm 10 years, 11 years, 10 years older than Aaron, Richard. Just as an idea. So
yeah, and
I mean,
there was that thing where, like, I am from an older family. I have older sisters. My friends were all older, so I always dated older because I knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like, when I was 5 years old, I was watching The Exorcist, so I wasn't gonna.
Sure.
I didn't want to meet somebody who was watching Sesame Street. You know what I mean? When I was 20 years old, our points of reference were off by so many years that I would go older, and now that I'm old. I'm like, I can't explain it. Like, I can't do it.
We've talked about that with music.
I can't explain Diana Ross
yeah,
to you. Like,
right.
And it's fun. It's like funny. Like, if you want to make out, we can do that. But anything that looks like it might turn into something more, you have got to go home.
Right.
Because
Right.
Because if I wake up in the morning and I have to explain to you how to
take your Tinker toys and go home.
What a Mr. Coffee is, we're in a lot of trouble.
Right. No, I hear ya.
And then you're going to be one of those species that I want eliminated.
Yeah,
and then
we did that
board.
at Stacy's. I went to Stacy's with friends on Sunday, and we stayed there for a few drinks, and it was great. And then everyone was tired, and we went back to my house. And it wasn't actually that we were tired; it was just that it was so loud, and we were yelling at each other, and we were catching up from high school, and we wanted to like actually do some catching up. So we went back to my house and sat on my back porch with our feet in the pool and hung out for like 3 more hours and talked and laughed and had fun. And Stacey's was a lovely place to kick it off, but it was like we were just yelling at each other.
And my last weekend in the wine country with the 2 girls, 29 and 30, 27 and 30, they just the whole day, the whole Sunday, when I had said, here's what I'm doing, and I travel a lot by myself, you can do whatever you want to, but it's going to be me going down to that pool for as long as I can stay in the sun. I'm going to take a long bath. Join me, don't join me.
Yeah.
I will not judge you. Oh my God, they're going to the beach. They're going to go to this. They're going to go to this. They had this plan. They had this plan. And then it ended up being, let's just go to lunch. Like, now it's late. We can't go to the beach. Let's stay here. Then it was like, well, where should we find out to go? Dinner's over. It's 9 o'clock. I'm like, we have 6 bottles of kick-ass wine. We're all fun. And we played Uno for like 4.5, 5 hours. And conversation, witty, laughing. And they were like, if you, and both of them said, they're like, there's no way you could have told me we were going to sit around in a hotel room in our pajamas and have this much fun. Like, they just didn't, like, but we like each other. We have stuff we can talk, we can gossip. We can, and it was just different to show somebody, like, you can do it. But if you want to go to a club, I'll go for the early part of the evening. Sure. And then around midnight, I'm going to, please excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to go now. Yeah, no, absolutely. I thought that was interesting how it seemed like a really, really kind of rude blog by a younger person that doesn't realize they're going to age.
Right. And that comes as a great surprise to anybody that survives it all. It's like, oh, shit, I'm old.
Fuck, I'm there.
Here I am.
Yeah. I just thought it was right. Like, in reading through, I thought, oh, you pompous little prick. And then I found a picture of him, and, you know, he's...
And I wrote that under a different name, so...
Yeah. I thought so. I thought it looked like it was shadow.
No.
Now we're on pseudonyms. So many names. Homonyms, pseudonyms.
So many nims.
Yeah, it's so... Anyway, the you can look up the blog if you want to read it, because it's young gay blog. Like, if you want to Google young gay blogger, gay men over 30 should stay out of the clubs. And this was on
the worst part is
Instinct magazine.
The worst part is
Instinct
my
magazine.
comment would be like, yep, they should. Like, I would just take that as, well, that's a scientific fact.
Because to the little twink, I say if it weren't for us older guys paving the way, there would not be any gay bars for him to go to.
That's true.
But I thought that was a bit much.
They also got rid of the castanets and the cymbals, so who wants to go back there? There's nobody doing percussive instruments in the corner.
Us older generation.
And a whistle.
Yeah.
We need a guy with a whistle.
Have been through hell and back, making this world a better place for our society to enjoy and be treated equal. So go and enjoy a drink, but remember where the bars and your life can go. It is all because of us. Remember, it is not going to be, nor has it always been, about you. There are other things going on in life more important than you. I don't know.
And Steven's talking about, or Richard's talking about, hold on.
His dentist?
Steven is saying, 32. And if it's 12 years.
I love that he says you can get discounts on clean teeth. God bless you, Steven. You are spot fucking on.
Yeah.
And
if you're in your 20s and you're paying for drinks, you're not doing it right.
Well,
Valid point.
Exactly. The gentleman from New York raises
an
an interesting point. I remember being in Vegas one time, and down in the old strip, there was one of the casinos has a bar that goes right out to the street. So you're standing on the street, but you're inside. You're in the bar, and you can order the drinks. And I was with Kevin Dasso, little Kevin, and his boyfriend at the time, Dave.
Mr. Worley.
It was one of those awakenings. I think I was like 29 years old, and
that makes me want to catch a ball.
What?
Awakenings.
Oh, Awakenings. So we were sitting there ordering the drinks, and they ordered a drink, and I just got caught up in the mirror because it was Vegas on a hot sunny day in the summer, and I was looking at myself, like, not in the usual bar setting of like lighting you can't see through, like zero visibility lighting, but broad daylight outside with a mirror ordering a drink, and Kevin's like, oh, I think I'll have a Bloody Mary, and Dave's like, I think I'll have this, and I'm like, I just can't believe I lived this long. Like, I'm just looking in the mirror like, okay, so aging is now part of the equation. You know what I mean? It was officially the end of the era. I saw myself in daylight in a mirror in a hot summer day, and I thought, Oh.
Horseshit.
This is just downhill.
Wee wee. We appreciate the slide.
All right, we've beat this
like
horse
it.
to the death. I'm done with this show for tonight. I am done with it for tonight. I text messages, work. I hate stupid people. I would kill stupid people.
That's who you want.
That's how I was when I
I-
walked in, and I'm sorry that that's
so
gone to
it began with you in a mood, and now it ends with me in a mood.
Sorry.
That doesn't work. It's just stupid people
'Cause it really
just
is fucking
astound me.
annoying.
Stupid people off the island. They're all done.
If you
And
don't,
age doesn't matter if you can have a
Bachelorette parties,
conversation.
stupid people, cockroaches, pigeons,
I've
mosquitoes.
decided that technology will kill me.
Cuddling thunder cunts.
And it really
Technology is going to kill me because
Yeah.
I'm either tripping over a wire or I'm going to have a heart attack from screaming at people who are too stupid to understand what the on button does on a fucking computer. Thank you for joining us. It's a little bit after 10 o'clock. It's the show. We do it each and every week. It's Katie, Marnie, Al, and me. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you for joining us. We will leave you with this final parting word.
Hashtag.
We will see you next Tuesday.
Hashtag.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.